Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. Welcome back, people. Happy New Year. We're kicking off. What a morning of fights for me, anyways. It's proving to be because it is 7 a.m. here in Sydney, in Wollongong, actually, to be exact. And yeah, man, what a morning of fights. I actually did catch the tougher Felipe fight. What a fight that was! That was a crazy fight, very close decision. Man, neither guy deserved to lose that fight. Um, I thought Tuffer was doing such a fantastic job of in particular in the first round of sliding just out of range, which is going to be very relevant for the Holloway fight, which is something Holloway does very, very well. Slides in and out of range. So I think Tuffer was doing a fantastic job of that in the first round, and then either maybe he'd taken a few shots. I don't know exactly what had happened or why, but I feel that he slowed that down a little bit with sliding just out of the range. So that was but it was a fantastic job by Tough. I was really, really impressed. And Felipe's man, he's made a concrete, that guy. So that was impressive. That was really, really impressive. Happy New Year to everyone, guys. Can't wait to kick off. Man, I'm really bummed about the Hawes fight. Does anyone know what exact injury Phil Hawes did get? Because I was really looking forward to that fight. I got up extra early to do that because usually I just do the main card, but I was pretty pumped to do that fight. That was looking like an interesting fight. Um, but yeah, welcome back, people. I I'm very interested to see how Holloway does. Oh, hey, Hassan, the driller. Do I sound a little bit off? It's just early. It's just really, really early. Do you mean do I sound sick? Is that what you mean? It's just early. I haven't really spoken to anyone yet. So as the day progresses, I'll sound better. But yeah, it was pretty early. I got up before 6 because to do the just get everything ready. But yeah, man, it should be a good one. Yeah, no. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I just like I said, it's just a first conversation I'm having is with you guys this morning. So I'm not sick at all. I'm really looking forward to these. Let me know what you guys think, especially let me know what you guys think for the main event. Who you guys think is going to win, whether it's Holloway or Kattar, and how. Um, you're right. I do sound sick, but no, I'm not. Yeah, let me know who you think is going to win and why, how. Um, I think Holloway, my opinion, I think Holloway is going to have a little bit too much volume for Kattar. I think Kattar is going to come out and do what he does. He's got faster hands. He hits a little harder, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that for 5 rounds. And I don't see him getting Max out of there for in the first two. I think Max got a fantastic chin. I do think Max gets hit a little bit more than he needs to. But he does a great job of sliding in and out of range and creating those false distances. So when Kattar throws a jab out there for Max to jab back or for his opponents to jab back and he counters over the top with the right, he might catch Max once or twice, but I don't think he's going to stop him. And I don't think he's going to outbox Max for the 5 rounds. So um, I got Max, I think. Um, I I can't smash a caffeine because I go absolutely fucking mad. I can't drink too much caffeine. I'm drinking my green tea, which is as close to caffeine that I can take, but I can't take coffee because when I take coffee I go mad. Um Thoughts on Stipe versus Ngannou getting done? Well, I think that was inevitable. I think that was gonna happen. Um and I don't know what happened with the Khabib announcement. Somebody write it down because I don't know what happened. I don't know what the announcement was. Stipe and Ngannou, I think that was always going to happen. So I think I'm excited to see that fight. I think Ngannou's a freak of nature, and if he touches you, you're going to be very hurt. I'm not saying anything that anyone doesn't already know. I think that Stipe though is so well rounded and so clever with what he does that that's a real clash of styles, and I'm really interested to see it. I think also Stipe's his boxing is very, very crisp, man. He's very, very smart. I would not want to be the person fighting Ngannou. So I'm excited to see that fight. I don't know who's going to do it. I don't know who's going to win it, but it's um it's an exciting one for sure. Absolutely for sure. Um, no, I don't think it goes. Which fight are you talking about? Thick Jesus. Does it go the distance? The Francis fight or the um or the Holloway fight? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I think the Holloway fight goes a distance, and I think Max wins a decision. That's my opinion. That's my guess. If I had to say something, but I don't think I don't think the Stipe fight goes the distance. Max Kattar, no, I don't. I don't think. I think it'll go the distance, and I think Max will probably win a 5 round decision. That's my opinion. I think the first two will be close, if not to Kattar, and I think Max will start to edge away in the later rounds. Hassan Ahmed says Stipe wins comfortably, in my opinion. Ngannou has one way and one way to win. Stipe can win any way he wants. I think on the surface, yes. I don't know that I don't know that he can win any way he wants. I think he's got more ways to win. And I definitely agree with that. But the thing that Ngannou has over everyone is that his one and only way to win is a fucking pretty, it's a lottery ticket that he's holding in his pocket, and it's a big one, So I think Stipe has also got power in his hands, and he can also stop Francis, and he can also out wrestle him. And on the ground, I'd say he's better. But Francis's shot isn't something that you can't you can't discount. It's not. It doesn't matter that you have more ways to win when you have the power that Francis does. So that makes him just as dangerous at any stage. Looking really forward to this one, the Max Holloway versus Kattar fight. And then, of course, Volkanovski versus Ortega. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a really, really good one. Do you think Ngannou has improved his takedown defensive wrestling enough and his cardio as we've seen Stipe take his best shots? Yes, I think that he has improved his cardio and his wrestling for sure. 1000% he has. Um, Having said that, Steve, one thing is to take a shot. The other thing is if to take a flush, and Stipe can be knocked out. That's been shown. Anyone can be knocked out, and Francis has the power to knock anyone out. So that I think is going to be difficult when you're fighting a big guy like Francis, and you have the skills and the ability that Stipe has. I think, and Stipe will do that. Is making them hop, being able to make them hop, being able to make them move. So catching a single leg, making them move, making them move, making them move, making them work, making the big heavyweights work, especially big powerful ones. And this is easier said than done, So I think that Stipe is smart enough to do that as well. So I would have to, you know, I'd favor Stipe, but it's scary, the kind of power that Francis has. Um, yes, I agree. And Ngannou ate Stipe's best punches like they were nothing. That's right, Ben Johnson. Francis has been by clean bombs from Stipe and other heavyweights and has never been dropped pound for pound top 5 chins in the UFC. I'd have to agree with you, man. Like a guy like that, he's not like a classically tidy great striker. Like you know what I mean. Like he's not. He's boxing that his movement is not that great. His defense is not that great, but he's extremely effective. Like extremely effective. He can take a shot, and he can give you a shot, and he can hurt you really, really bad. And his shot is better than yours. So that's a big one. Dana is apparently making an announcement about Khabib soon, which I imagine can only mean that he's coming back. Well, please, guys, when you hear about the announcement, let me know. Just put it down there on the what you call it here on this live chat. Put it down there and let me know what the announcement is, please, and let us all know because we're going to be stuck to this screen watching. I'm really bummed. If anyone knows what the actual injury with Phil Hawes was, let me know because I wanted to watch that fight because the other guy that he was fighting is a very, very good boxer as well. So I was very excited to see how they're going to match up, and what they were going to do. Dana Dana just announced UFC will be cracking down hard on people pirating fights this year. should I be scared? If you're pirating fights, then you should. Do I think that Kattar's stand-up is underrated? I don't know if it's underrated. I think it's very, very good. I think that I don't know. I can only go off me, but I think that everyone's well aware that he is one of the better boxers in the featherweight division, if not the UFC in general. I don't know if I think Peter Yan's boxing is one of the better boxers in the UFC period, but I don't know. I don't know that it's underrated per se, but he's definitely got very, very good boxing, man. I really, man, it's going to be very interesting here. You know, it's going to be very, very interesting. Max, he's very, very smart. He's very rangy. He's very good at using, you know, the, the his reach and his height and his ability to move in and out, slide in and out. So he gets just outside of your range, creates a false distance. He's very good at doing all of those things, as is Kattar. As is Kattar. One of the things that we had Volkanovski on here the other day, and one of the interesting things that he said when he saw the fight with Zabit was that he took, in Alex's opinion, Kattar took too long to be able to adjust to Zabit's game, and which is he feels is what cost him that fight. And you know, he could be right. You know, he seems to know a thing or two about fighting, that guy. If he has trouble adjusting like that, and he has trouble adjusting with Max, and he starts losing like maybe the first or second round, I think it's going to be very hard for Kattar. I think his boxing is very good, but it's also the application of the boxing at that higher level. Valeria, thank you so much. Like always, you're the best. Thanks for doing the commentary. I hope Max gets the win today. Look, I like both guys. There is a part of me that I'm going for Max for whatever reason. I don't know where the bias comes from, but I'm definitely yeah. I kind of lean towards Max. I kind of gravitate towards Max. I don't know why. Because I'm a big fan of Kattar too. Like if he wasn't fighting Max, I'd probably be going for him. I like the way he fights. I like the boxing. I like the boxing wrestling thing that he does. What's going to be interesting here is as well. They're not similar. He's not similar to Volkanovski, Kattar, but he does have the kind of striking and the ability to wrestle that, you know, and the same way that Alex does. So I don't know if he's going to try and incorporate more of a wrestling game in against Max as well, which in and of itself is a problem as well, because that takes a lot of your gas tank up against someone like Max. Max is very, very, very clever, very cerebral fighter, and like Alex said when we had him on here, people don't give him credit. Like the people don't understand what he's doing when he's creating those false distances, when he's throwing out the jabs and you're not catching him, and he's starting to hit you, and then he starts to hit you not that hard and then harder, and then he gets out of your range, just slides straight out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. Thanks, Valeria. Thank you so much for supporting, and really appreciate everyone for supporting the channel. Happy New Year to everyone, and I really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much, guys. Fabian, in a fantasy world, if there was a men's 165 division, who would you put in a tournament to win the title? That's a hard one to say, man, because there's a lot of guys like 155 to 165 and 170 to 165. There's not that big of a difference, you know. But I think someone like any of the floaters, any of the guys that can go up and down, I think would be pretty impressive. There's too many to name because there's a lot of guys. Like you have all the big like Poirier, McGregor, any of the lightweights can go up to from 155 to 165. Some of the bigger welterweights might not be able to get the extra, you know, down to 165. Guys like Kevin Lee would probably be very, very good at that in that weight as well. That's my opinion. I don't know. It's hard to say, anyways. B Johnson, yeah, Kattar's 1-2 is one of the best I've seen in MMA. I don't know if it's one of the best I've seen in MMA, but it's definitely very, very good. And look for that. Look for him to draw the jab out so he can counter over the top. And he's very, very successful throwing that right hand when he does that. He's very, very good, man. Is he going to be able to draw Max? to draw those counters out of Max? I don't know. So we have Soriano versus Todorovic. Soriano versus Todorovic. This is looks like an interesting fight of middleweights, undefeated middleweights too, 7-0 versus 10-0. I'm excited to see this fight as well. I like watching these bigger boys in the middleweight division to see what's happening and who's coming up and whatnot. Novaletti, I can't marry you because then it's going to take away her attention to Grange TV, and we can't have that. So we will not be doing that. What's the main differences in striking in MMA and striking in kickboxing? The distances, the takedowns, your ability to incorporate your kickboxing into MMA striking is a very, very big one. The vocabulary of strikes as well. The strikes are coming from a lot of different angles, from a lot of different ways. Your opponent is throwing strikes from completely different angles as well. Like if you shoot for a double leg and then or you feint a double leg and come up with an uppercut, that doesn't really exist in kickboxing. It doesn't really exist in boxing either. So you have all these different angles that strikes are coming from. And it's important I think it's important for you to have a good background in your striking, whether it's boxing or kickboxing or whatnot, but then your ability to put that into an MMA context is very, very, very difficult sometimes for some people. The distance, the timing is also very different. Timing's a fair bit different, and the pace of the actual fight. Let me get this going. We're about to start, people. Pretty pumped to see this fight. Just a second, people. And we're off. Soriano in the black trunks holding the center of the octagon in the southpaw position versus Todorovic, who's in the orthodox position. Throws a nice kick up the middle by Todorovic. They're exchanging hard. Soriano's throwing big left hands already. In the clinch now, both guys. Big knees by Todorovic. These guys did not waste any time. No filling out process here whatsoever. The high kick by Soriano misses. Todorovic is throwing good kicks up the middle. Soriano wants to get inside. He's got a big left hand. This is going to be interesting if Soriano doesn't get Todorovic out of here early because he's putting a lot of weight behind these punches, coming up short a little bit. Here's Soriano. Todorovic has a little bit of a height and reach advantage. Also, guys, when you see, big exchange in the middle there by both guys. Todorovic with his hands low. Soriano with his hands nice and high. Todorovic is looking to establish the range. He just threw a right kick to the body, right front kick to the body. Big left hand by Soriano, again coming up short. Combination landed by Todorovic. A nice short little check hook landed by Todorovic. Todorovic is able to get in and out and land these shots on Soriano. He's starting to find his range now. That was a nice little left hook by Todorovic. Body kick by Todorovic. He's kind of tripped and fell. Left high kick, swing and a miss by Soriano. Soriano, left hand by Soriano. He hit Todorovic with a big left hand. Todorovic hit the cage. Soriano's looking for a takedown. He's got a lot of power, does Soriano. He hit Todorovic very, very well. Todorovic's got a chin, man. Fell up against the cage, bounced off. Now Todorovic is holding the center of the octagon. He's feinting, and Soriano's starting to bite on his feints. Nice jab landed by Todorovic. Soriano's got a lot of power. Todorovic bouncing very, very comfortably. Kind of a karate style. Soriano's backing him up against the cage. The boys clinch. And Todorovic looking to put Soriano up against the cage. Soriano's very, very strong. Keeps himself off the cage. 1-2 by Todorovic lands. And Soriano swings, but again hits nothing but air. Todorovic with another combination landed on the gloves of Soriano. Soriano holding the center of the octagon. Todorovic with his hands low, and that's how he got caught earlier by Soriano. Soriano seems to have a lot of power, man. A lot of power. Is it going to carry into the later rounds? I don't know. Todorovic is pulling back just out of range. He's doing a great job of doing that. Problem with that is you do a great job of doing it until you don't. Knee in the clinch by Todorovic seems to be either a low knee or an eye gauge. I couldn't see that. I couldn't see it clearly. Todorovic looking very comfortable. Both guys looking very comfortable. Another big left hand by Soriano, and Todorovic managed to lean just out of the way there. Got to be careful that Soriano doesn't time that again, because Soriano's shown that he can get inside and he can land that shot. He landed it again. Another big left hand. Todorovic is hurt. He's very, very hurt. Soriano's landing big shots. Todorovic is up again. 1 minute, 27 seconds left. He's on his back. Soriano's looking for the take. He's looking for the ground and pound. Todorovic is looking to wrap him up and survive this round. He might do it. I don't like the way he's pulling back, and Soriano did a fantastic job of timing that armbar attempt. Then he kind of went from I think for a kind of calf slice there. Did Todorovic. He looks very good off his back. He's still dazed. He's swinging back. He's leaning back with his hands low. Is Todorovic. Soriano's looking for the kill. There's 58 seconds to go. Left high kick by Soriano. I don't know if he's punched himself out. Soriano's landed that twice. Todorovic is pulling back, and that's what I was saying. Like, he landed it again. He landed it again and again. Again, Todorovic is on his back now. Todorovic is on his back trying to survive. There's 40 seconds to go. I believe that off his back, Todorovic will survive, and Soriano will ask him to stand up, and he has. The mouthpiece is gone from Todorovic, so Herb Dean is getting the mouthpiece for him. Todorovic is leaning back, and it's working. Like I said that just before he got hit. It works, and it looks good and everything, but it works until it doesn't work, and he's getting just out of the way. On Soriano's got big power in those shots, man. He's got the mouthpiece is wedged in between the mats, so they can't get it out. Big left hand straight on the chin, and Soriano's got power. Todorovic has got 25 seconds to go. Ignore this clock here, guys, for now. Yeah, man, like, wow. Big power by Soriano. And what a chin on Todorovic. 14 seconds to go. Gets dropped again. And they call the fight off. Herb Dean has called this fight off. Wow. Soriano did a fantastic job. I don't think Todorovic was out, but you can't get dropped 3 times in a round, like it's just not. It's a shame, because I think Todorovic did have some fight left in him from what I saw, but you can't get dropped 3 times in a round like that. And I agree with the decision to stop the fight for sure. I can't see it clearly from here, but yeah, man, that was. Let's see, boom, another one right on the chin of Todorovic, another big left hand. Boom! That was a huge left hand that knocked the mouthpiece out. Then a right hand and another left by Soriano. Big power. Drops Todorovic. Todorovic looked like he collapsed, but he looked like he was still with it, but from what I saw anyways. But he took way too many shots like that, way too many big, powerful shots. Soriano landed some big shots. He's got a lot of power, does Soriano. He's very, very impressive. Todorovic was impressive too, but he's got to fix a few things, I believe, with his how he's pulling back like that, because good strikers like Soriano has proven to be are going to pick that, So that was pretty impressive, man. Pretty impressive work. Dad isn't mad. I came here because of your Reddit AMA. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. That was organized by Lydian Ali, so thank you so much, Lydian, for organizing that. Yeah, so it was fun to do, man. It was an interesting thing to do. Fab, why hasn't the UFC hired you for an analysis job yet? I don't know, man. Who knows? There's probably better analysts than me. Who knows? I got the sense from Kattar's interview that he might wrestle a bit. I think he will. I think he's a good wrestler too. Wrestled in high school, wrestled growing up. From what I understand, he was going to pursue a college wrestling career, so the talent is there. But he went into fighting instead, so he can wrestle. He can definitely wrestle. And he's got hands, so yeah, I think so. But Max is very hard to take down too. So, and that's what I mean. It can just tire you out more. So it's not, one thing's your game plan, the other thing's having the ability to be able to implement that game plan. And will that guy let you do it? So both these guys are good. I'm so pumped for that fight. I don't know that Max can, but if he does it just faster than Kattar, which I do think he can. It's going to be It's going to be Max's, I believe, unless Kattar can catch him. Fab, can you finish these lyrics for me? I can't, mate. I can't. You're embarrassing me. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. I only know that part. That's the only part that I remember from when I was a little kid. Seems like the winner of Max versus Kattar will come down to experience. Max fighting higher caliber opponents, given some of their similarities. Yes, but I think that Kattar has enough experience. I don't. There's a point in time where after you've had a few wins and a few losses, and you've had a bunch of fights, like 40 fights is not really gonna get you the difference in experience at 20. Between 20 and 40 fights, the experience doesn't matter as much as, say, I've had 10 fights and you've had one. That difference in 10 fights, huge level of difference. 10 fights and 20 fights, there's still difference, but 10 fights is still a lot. After you've had like a whole bunch of fights, it's not the experience here. I'd edge Max. Yes, say he's got more experience. He's had more experience in championship fights, etc., etc. More 5-round fight experience, absolutely, for sure. But as far as caliber of opponents, Kattar's seen a lot. He's seen a lot, especially with Moicano and Zabit. I think that were big learning curves for him. So I think that that's an interesting one. Was Justin tough or robbed? Look, I was going for Justin, being that he's from this part of the world. I love Samoa as well. I've been to Samoa. It's a beautiful place. I highly recommend it. I've got a lot of Samoan friends. But I don't think he was robbed. I thought it was a close fight. I thought that, Justin, I thought he might have won that, you know what I mean? But it was a close fight, man. I thought he won the first. Like I said earlier, he was doing a fantastic job of sliding just out of range. And then he wasn't doing that as well in the second and third. And then it got really, really close. I thought he won the first convincingly. Had they have given it to Justin, I would have been fine with that too. Calvin looked like he had a great cut. I don't want the damage to catch up to Max. I agree with you, man. I do agree with you. Calvin looked very, very comfortable. And I think that although Max is young, Max has had a lot of wars and he's taken a lot of shots and he's taken a lot of damage. And I saw something the other day on media about Jose Aldo and Gilbert Burns being the same age. And like, people saying, oh, one guy's a washed up veteran, which I don't think that Aldo is, and one guy's an up and comer. And the reality is, like, Gilbert Burns has not had the tumultuous journey of the highs and the lows that and the wars that Aldo has had. And that's one thing is how old you are, like just in age wise, and the other one is how many years you've been fighting and how many years you've been fighting at the top level against top guys, and you've had wars. You've had wars. Aldo's been around forever. People forget that. If Conor knocks out Justin within a minute, would you say you expected that? I wouldn't say I expected that, but like Conor knocks people out within 7 to 8 minutes. So I'm expecting if Conor wins that to be that way, in the first couple of minutes. I don't, and that's not because Dustin isn't good. That's because that's where Conor's greatest strengths is in finishing that fight in those first 7 or 8 minutes. Not because Dustin isn't good. It's not even a reflection of who's better or not, because not who's better or not, but it's not a reflection of Dustin's skills. It's that's where Conor is best at in those 7 or 8 minutes. So I wouldn't be surprised if he knocked Dustin out early. But if Dustin is able to weather a storm, time himself, start taking Conor out into the later rounds, then okay, that's going to be a different fight. And that's how Dustin fights. So it's going to be interesting. Valeria don't listen to Fab. I can provide all the MMA analysis you want, and I make a better salmon curry than him. You do not make a better salmon curry than me. Come on. Yeah, but look, Todorovic. No, I don't think that Todorovic and Rob are similar because no, they're different. Like the only similarities is that they kind of bounce in that karate style. That's all that I see there. Um, yes, deciding when to stop fights is a bit subjective. I agree with you. Having said that, like you can't take like if you get knocked down 3 times in a fight in the first round, and you also like kind of not like you new kind of to the UFC, they're going to stop the fight. They should stop the fight. Eli's working Hassan. Um, Eli is working at he's at Fire Brigade today. So yeah. Hey, what's happening, Fab? Nothing much, mate. I'm just here. I had to get up pretty early for this one. I was bummed. I really wanted to see the Phil Hawes fight when he against this Russian dude from France. That was gonna. I can't say his name. I can't remember the name. But yeah, it was that. I was really looking forward to that. Max has never been dropped, and without having that option of finishing Max, Keita will probably not win a decision. Not being dropped doesn't mean that he won't be dropped or that he can't be dropped, you know. So, and also being dropped, sometimes you got caught in that second and you kind of fell. That doesn't mean that you didn't take shots that didn't drop you, that hurt you, or that rattled your brain, you know. Max has got a really, really good chin. He hasn't been dropped, but he's taken shots. He's taken some big shots. I wouldn't say that that option's out the window for Keita. He could finish Max. That's anyone can get dropped. Mark Hunt had never been knocked out, you know, and then got knocked out by Melvin Manhoef. No, Hassan, I will not be singing that. How important do you think proper sports education or education in general is for coaches in martial arts? I think education more than sports education, I think, is very important. And by education, I don't mean schooling necessarily. Um, like you go to university, to high school, whatnot, to learn to read and write. You know, hopefully, if you go to a good place, you know, to learn to think. So I think education in general is very important for the coaches. The ability to have critical thought and the ability to think is very, very important. And yeah, it's lacking in a lot of, not just in MMA, but just in general. I think like the ability to think critically is very, very important. I read that Soriano walks around at 110 kilograms. Is that insane? It's probably a little too heavy, but for on a middleweight to walk around at pretty heavy weights. But 110 kilos is huge for a middleweight. Can you make me happy? No, I will not be singing the He-Man theme song in Spanish. Um, I agree, Kelvin. It's not the years, it's the mileage. Likelihood that Burns catches Kamara in a submission. I don't know what the likelihood is. Can he? Yes. But Burns is traditionally more of a top game player in and he's Kamaru is very smart too, man. Kamaru is a guy that knows how to win and knows what he has to do to win. And he's proven it time and time and time again. Very, very smart guy, very composed guy, doesn't let stuff get to him. And I that's why I don't know. And these guys train together as well. They've trained together many times. So I don't know that Kamaru like I think that Burns knows what he can do to Kamaru and Kamaru would know what Burns can do to him. So it would make it hard because he's not bringing an unknown quantity into the arena. One thing for Keita is that Max probably isn't willing to leg kick him to death like Moicano did whenever he stepped in. Max's ego won't let him. I don't know. I think if Max can kick him, he will. um, who do you have for Brown versus Condit? I don't know, man. It's one of those fights I kind of don't want to like. I remember Condit. I don't like that fight, man. Like, I don't like seeing guys that I watched. They're legends, man. Like, now they're kind of on their way back to the UFC, or you know, Condit's had like a lot of losses. Matt Brown's probably got the bit better form. I think normally I would say Carlos Condit, but it's been a while, man. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see those guys fight. I remember like I like Condit as what he was, you know. Uh, do you think the UFC will crack down on pirating the fights? Yes, I do think they will. Apparently, the Hawes fight is put on hold until next week. What kind of leg injury needs a week to heal? I don't know. I don't know what happened. That's why I was asking people what happened. When are they fighting next week? Like on the McGregor card? Someone tried convincing me that Condit should be the favorite in fight against Masvidal, assuming Masvidal doesn't take him down. Do you agree that is nonsense? I don't think. I think that Condit has had a lot of miles on him. You know what I mean? Even if Masvidal does take him down, Condit's jiu-jitsu is really, really, really good. Um, I think Masvidal at this point in time is the favorite for sure, my opinion. Um, Fab, what's a better nickname, Bengali Basher or Dangerous Hoodie? One was given by Australia's best MMA coach, and the other was given by the top lightweight, Michael Chandler. Um, Man, I have to. You could go backwards and forwards between both nicknames. Dangerous Hoodie's got a very nice, like kind of English drill name to it, so I like that. Yeah, the guy asked for Masvidal. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm saying Masvidal at this point in time, the question that was asked was Masvidal. Matt Brown different against Matt Brown right now. I'd probably say Matt Brown a little bit, but I don't know. Um, Fab, in the past, you have talked on the podcast about logging, training, and dieting by using Excel sheets. Could you explain? Could you please expand a bit on that concept of keeping track of training and diet? It's really not rocket science. You just write down what people eat. You know what I mean? Not just a diet, because people go, "This is a diet I follow." It's like, cool. Keep a food diary. That's more important. So what you actually ate and what you actually drank and how much you drank and when you drank it and how'd you feel when you drank that. That's very, very important because sometimes you get to training and you're not feeling well, but then when you look back on your at your booklet at your diary, you realize, oh, okay, I have to get up, and when the times I feel best are when I have a liter of water before training or whatever. Um, that's one thing as far as diet and that's concerned. Not just following a diary, keeping a food diary, I think is more important. And then when you're asking about training, you just write how long the session went for, what the load was, um, how long the session went for, how you felt, did you have any injuries, et cetera, et cetera. Did you actually go to that session? Because again, your program might look fantastic, but you might not do the program, or you might find that you get to the end of the week and you don't feel well and da da da. And then when you have that and you've collected all that data and you're able to start to tweak your training to go, maybe I don't do this session, or when I do this session, these are the things I need to do. Monitor your sleep, monitor your heart rate, monitor everything that you can, collect as much data as possible, and you have that over a bunch of years, and then you're able to start to understand what, like, when you perform the best, when you eat this or when you take that, or when if this session happens on this day, it takes you how long to recover. But you have to have that hard data, that you're able to look back on and go, okay, if I eat this and drink this and do this session, then I feel great. And I'm able to do that twice and I need a day off, or I don't need a day off, or I need a half day or whatever. But you're able to follow it. You're not just guessing. Um, Stick UFC on video title or you'll miss out on viewers. All right, we'll do that, mate. I'll have to speak to the David Roberts, a snake, who didn't do it. um, ESPN reported fight will be moved to UFC 257 next week. Okay, I cool. Yes, Joaquin is about to fight now. Buckley versus the Chirico. Do you think all the sites illegally streaming are going to be removed? I don't know. I have no no idea about that stuff. Wonderful questions asked to Volkanovski. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Um, Jack the Ripper. I do not mean this disrespectful at all, but what does Poirier bring to the table that's special? He always looked average to me. You're more educated than me, so what does he do that is good, Fab? I think Poirier is a guy that does everything good, and he's a very, very tough guy. Very, 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 very tough guy. Very, very fit, very tough, and he's very well rounded across the board. You're right. He doesn't excel. He's not a guy that has like one touch power like Conor McGregor. He doesn't have um there's certain things that he doesn't have. He doesn't excel like that. But being super super tough, being super super fit, and being highly highly skilled is a very very hard person to keep off you. If you don't have dynamite hands like Conor does, or superb grappling like Khabib does, you're going to struggle. And there's a guy like Daniel Hooker is one of my favorite fighters. I have utmost respect for him as a person and as a fighter, and I know how much of a hard man Hooker is, and Poirier out hard manned him. You know what I mean? So that's what he brings to the table. When you're fighting at the top, at the upper echelons against people that are really good at specialists in that particular little thing that they do well, like Khabib or Connor with his striking, Khabib with his grappling, that's when it gets a little bit hard for someone like Dustin because he's not at the top end across those skill sets, but he's very, very good and he's so well rounded and he's so fit and he's just a hard man. So that's what he brings to the table. Yeah, and somebody just answered more or less what I said. Um, what are we looking? We're down here. Poirier, no, Poirier is good. He's really, really good. Guys, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please tell your friends, share as much as you possibly can. If you got into a bar fight, who would you pick as a backup? Dustin, Justin or Dan? Are you Justin Gaethje? Justin Gaethje. He's a wild man. He's a wild man. I'll leave him there. He can start swinging, and I'll leave. Fab just seen that apparently Khabib said that he feels that he has accomplished everything they wanted to accomplish, and that he was impressed by Oliveira, and he will watch the main and co-main. Meaning, like he was impressed by Oliveira, and that he'll watch. He wants to fight Oliveira. Khabib said if something spectacular happens in the main event, he'll consider coming back. Roughly what Dana said on Instagram Live right now. Okay, so he didn't actually say anything. And I agree, man. He accomplished more or less everything, man. I don't. I actually like. I'd love to see him fight. I love watching Khabib fight, but my opinion, man. Like I also like him riding off into the sunset. I will be back, people. I am back, people. Thick Jesus talking shit about me behind my back while I was gone. Yeah, that's exactly right. It was they announced a non-announcement. Yeah, how do you feel about what TJ Dillashaw should be given as a comeback fight? Should they reward a cheater like that? Honestly, man, I don't. Me personally, I don't like. I don't like when people take performance enhancing drugs. It's such a massive advantage, man. You know, that's I people don't understand. It's such a huge advantage, massive one. Technically, physically, psychologically, it's huge. And it destroys other people's careers. So I understand why he takes it. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not even like on a judgmental thing. I was like, oh, I don't know why I know why I know why he takes it, but I just hate what it does to the other people, and the damage it inflicts on somebody else, and the massive advantage that you get. Looking forward to this one. I do believe it will be a barn burner. I have to go with Buckley, I think, but who knows? Who knows? Interesting fight. Fab just got real. What punishment do you think is just? I don't know, man. I think like if you get done, like I'm not even talking about TJ Dillashaw. I think if you get done taking performance enhancing drugs in a fight, and you just smashed someone, you should lose your purse. You should be fined. The person should get all your wins. This is just me off the top of my head, and you should be done for 5 years. You know what I mean? And still have to be in the testing pool for those 5 years. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. All right, we're about to go. We're off. Buckley's in a southpaw position. He's already moving. He's got his foot outside the lead foot of Chirico. Chirico looks significantly taller. Looks looks bigger than Buckley at the moment. Actually, well, Buckley looks more muscular, but yeah. Um, Buckley's kind of chasing him around the ring a little bit. I'd like to see him cut the cage off a little bit more. Um, the Chirico with an inside leg kick. Buckley with a 1-2 down the middle. And Buckley looking to hop in outside that lead foot and throw that left hand. Through there he is. He found that home with the left hand. Inside leg kick by Chirico. Buckley being very patient. Both guys being very patient. Ooh, left hand wing and a miss. Right high kick by Buckley. By Chirico, sorry. Again, both guys standing outside. Pouring with a jab is Chirico, kind of fainting, and so is Buckley. Neither one of them is controlling the center of the octagon. They exchange hooks. Nothing landed. One, two thrown by Buckley. Front kick by Chirico. Nothing landed flush yet. Nothing landing flush. Again, Chirico pouring with a jab. And Buckley, this is not a barn burner. I called it a barn burner. I thought it would be a barn burner, but it is not a barn burner. Not at this stage, anyway. Left hand to the body by Buckley. Right hand over the top by Chirico. Neither one of those shots landed flush for either guy. Buckley trying his best to get outside that lead foot and throw the left hand down the middle. And he's doing a great job of doing that, but he's done it. Oh, right high kick landed by Chirico. Huge right high kick landed by Chirico. Wow. Wow. What a right high kick by Chirico. Chirico's emotional. He's happy, and he seems like such a good guy too, does Chirico. Big hug there to Buckley, but my God, what a kick. That was a big kick. Wow. Wow. What a shot. That was a big kick, man. Landed. And he just like threw it. Oh, you know what happened as well when you watch the replay? Buckley, you see Buckley's face change just before the kick hits him. Like poor guy, like he knew that he messed up, and it got him so good in the top of like just got him in the head. Um, yeah, that was a big one. Is that Crocop? Man, Crocop's kicks were different level, man. Crocop's kicks were, different. Crocop's kicks were like a baseball bat, and it was over. This one wasn't the same. Yeah, you saw it, man. Like it was. He knew, like you saw his face, like just before it hit him, and it hit him flush, man. That was a huge shot. He was trying like, and it was just as I was saying it too. Like I was saying, like he's doing a good job of hopping outside that lead foot and throwing that left hand. And I'm saying he's doing a good job, but I just finished saying, but he keeps doing it. And then the Chirico went and got him. I don't know if the Chirico had seen that or he'd been like waiting for it. But yeah, that was pretty good, man. That was pretty impressive, man. That kick landed flush, man. That was wow. It got him really, really good. I can't believe him. Poor guy, man. Like he knew, like just a split second before it hit him, you could see it in his face that he was like, "Oh no!" And it got him flush. The Chirico threw a great kick there. Great job by him. Really, really, really good job. Unbelievable. I'm going to take this opportunity right now to just talk about our sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped is sponsoring us, and look, I think we can just speak about this quite openly. I think a lot of people are used to just using products for manscaping that aren't the best, but they're easy to use and they're accessible to everyone, But I think we don't have to use things like this anymore, for the manscaping. It's comfortable and it's easily accessible. You can get it at any Bunnings store, or any hardware store for that matter. It doesn't have to be Bunnings. But I think that those things are no longer necessary, Now with Manscaped, they come in this beautiful little bag thing that we have down there. And some of the products are these clippers, which are much easier and better to use than your garden variety hatchet or axe. And these products here. One of the things that I would strongly recommend for anyone that plays sport, that does any kind of running, surfing, water sports, anything, is this thing here. And this is brilliant, man. This is the best thing. It's an anti-chafing thing, and it works amazingly. I am learning to surf in the salt water, and then you go for a run, or you just have to walk back or whatever, and it kills you. That anti-chafing thing is amazing. Please go to Manscaped, use the code FAB to get 20% off free shipping with the code, and get 20% off the product as well. So that's code FAB for your products. You're no longer having to use any of these other things to Manscaped. You can now use these products by Manscaped. Thank you very much, guys. Let me see what comments we have here by people. Yeah, Buckley was chasing him the entire time, and like I said, like it looked like he was doing a good job of it too. But you could see that he was doing it, and Chirico obviously was able to see it and capitalize on it. So I'm quite impressed, man. I was impressed. Michael Hatch, I agree. I agree with you, man. I was expecting a war, and man, Chirico was a smart guy, man. Smart cookie the way he did it. He set it up. He was very composed, very, very composed. Could you lean into the leg or fist? Like if you see you're too late to move or block, could you lean your head into the leg, like with the hard part of your head, forehead, top of the head? No, not with a kick. Like with a punch, you can take a punch on the forehead, and you'll probably hurt him if you can sort of see it. With a kick, if you lean into the kick, a kick, getting hit with a kick with like a shin on the head is like getting hit with a baseball bat. And the way some of these guys kick, it's too much. Excluding head movement, how can a shorter fighter like Buckley close the range on a guy like Alessio. I feel like excessive head movement in MMA or kickboxing can end like this. There's a lot of things I don't want to talk about Buckley like I know what he should have done because I hate when people do that. But I think if you're a shorter guy, there are a lot of ways to come in. Like because when the thing is as well, if you can put punches in the mid range, so if you can throw your jab and come in off the back of that jab, so maybe double up on a jab and move in, is one way to do it. Head movement, like we saw Mike Tyson had a lot of success with that. Zambides, a lot of these guys, like if you're able to throw the jabs, throw something in the mid range, and then come in off the back of that, then yeah. But you also have to know what to do once you're there, because closing the distance, it's not that hard. Like a lot of these guys can do it. It's just what you do once you're there. Are you going to shoot a double? Are you going to clinch and push the guy up against a cage? DC does a great job of doing this too. But I think it's not the plan A. It's not closing the distance. That's reasonably easy. It's what do you do once you're there, and depends who you're closing the distance on. Like someone like Israel, very, very hard to close the distance on. It's not that easy. Like people, why don't you just take him down? And it's like, dude, he's not that easy to take down, and it's not that easy for you to get inside and get past the framing of someone like an Israel. But other guys that are tall but don't have that same skill set, it's not that hard to close a distance. It's what do you do once you close that distance. Um, so that's important. The other thing is cutting off the cage. Like Buckley was kind of following him around as opposed to being a little bit more patient and cutting off the cage is more important than you just following him and trying to close a distance. If you follow him, he's always going to be walking out. And the way that he was like Conor McGregor, he'll cut off the cage and then he'll give you an angle, you escape. So it looks like he's following you, but he's got long arms and he's a big guy for the division and he can throw that long left hand and catch you. But as a shorter fighter like Buckley was, you're not going to be able to do that. And he was too far away to do that. So he was just kind of following Chirico around. Did I just pull out an axe? I just pulled out what I think most people use. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking, what do most people use? And that's so you don't have to use that stuff anymore. We got all these other products from Manscaped. Do you think a fighter should be allowed to tell a referee before a fight that if he gets dropped, the ref should stop the fight earlier than usual because a fighter doesn't want potential brain damage? I think, yeah, you could say that, but I've never seen a fighter that goes into the boxing or kickboxing or MMA or anything go in with the mentality of, hey man, try and get them to stop the fight quick for me. Like I've never seen that. Like it would be kind of counterproductive to where your mind needs to be at. That's why you need the referee and the coaches to protect the fighter from themselves. Buckley is a diet small. I don't know. He's not a big guy. No, like he's a big dude, but he's short. UFC fight schedule on Google with their stats is more correct. It has Dustin and Conor as 5'8". Luke Peterson. Remember when the doc was elbow deep? First of all, Luke, thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Every little dollar helps, and I really, really appreciate it very, very, very much. That was a fucking brutal time for me. It was extremely traumatic, and I've undergone extensive therapy to deal with what happened that day. And bad things happen because good people let them. And I regret to this day that I didn't stop the atrocities that went on in that room. Yes, Izzy and Wonder Boy are scary dudes to close the distance on. I think Izzy's hard to close the distance on and scary. Wonder Boy Rob is very difficult to close the distance on as well. Never been out grappled. You know what I mean? Like he's never been out grappled either. There are a few of those guys that it's not that easy. Conor is not easy to close the distance on when he's fresh and ready to go. And again, people are going to say, look, Khabib did it. Well, Khabib does it to everyone, dude. Khabib's a different man. But Conor is a difficult person to do that to as well. Um, there's a bunch of these dudes that are really good at that. Izzy versus Wonderboy actually sounds like an entertaining fight. Israel's a lot, a lot bigger than Wonderboy. A lot. Like if you meet Wonderboy in real life, he's like my size. If you meet Israel's a big dude, man. Like look when I talk to him, I have to look up. You know, he's big, he's broad, he's a lot bigger than Wonderboy. A lot. Okay. Fab, can you post grappling striking concepts on Grange TV? You know what I'm thinking of doing, man? I'm thinking of doing that on a Patreon. I don't know exactly how to work that out. Maybe you guys can tell me, but I'm thinking of doing like a Patreon where we can talk about a fight like how we are like this, like talk live about a fight, and then be able to answer everyone's questions or as many questions as possible, hopefully everyone's questions, um, and put up a video clips specifically about the questions people ask. So if you're asking about closing distances or whatnot, I've been able to bring people in and show this is how you close a distance, da 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 da. Or if you're talking about a guard pass, we can talk about this is a guard pass that you can pass. Talk about a takedown. This is how we can do a takedown, etc. That's what I'm thinking about doing with the Patreon. Please, guys, you tell me because you guys know more about that kind of stuff than me, I think. Luke Peterson, you're a top bloke, Fab, mate. Not everyone thinks that, but thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. And your opinion matters more than most. So let's think. Akash Sharma, Fab, we loved your Reddit AMA the other day, brother. Thank you, man. I love doing it, man. And again, I just want to thank Lydian Ali for he was the one that organized that. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have done it. So I really, really appreciate it. I have no idea. Like, I don't work with Rob anymore, so I don't know anything about what he's doing with his diet or not or whatnot. Um, do you think Blachowicz is a convenient light heavyweight opponent for Izzy? He's one of the shorter light heavyweights and pretty similar build to Costa. I don't know. I don't know. Blachowicz, I think, is a guy, and I say this with all due respect to both guys. I think Costa is a guy that looks, he's a very good fighter, don't get me wrong, but he looks better than what he is in a way, just because he looks like a Superman, you know? That's not to say he's not good. He looks like a Superman. And I think Blachowicz is better than what he looks because he just looks like a big Viking kind of dude. Blachowicz is very awkward and it kind of throws your timing off. And he's a very, very hard man. Like you can tell that whatever he does hurts. If he throws a kick, it hurts. If he lands a kick on you anywhere, it hurts. So I think Blachowicz is very awkward, you know. But the problem I think for Blachowicz versus Izzy is he just moves so well, you know, and I don't see Blachowicz being able to out wrestle him and get him down to the ground and whatnot. I think Israel's also a very good grappler that people don't understand this. Like I think Israel debuted in MMA like 3 years after Rob did. Do you know what I mean? There's not that much. He's not like an inexperienced MMA fighter. You know, like people are out of their minds when they say that. You know, so that that's a big thing. Dana said he would like to book a. I don't know. Wonder Boy is nowhere near the size of Izzy. I can't fathom him getting that yoked, even if he started juicing. Yeah, no, he's not. He's like Wonder Boy is a true welterweight. You know, I don't even know how Darren Till up until recently could fight at welterweight. You know, but having said that, like those guys are big, man. Like Rob, Israel, they're big guys, man. They're not. Israel can fight at light heavyweight. You know, like use your fucking brain. Not anyone here, but I'm saying when people say like he's not a big guy, use your fucking brain. He's gonna fight Blachowicz at light heavyweight. You know, he's not a little guy. He's not a small middleweight. He looks like skinny because he's tall, but he's not. Like, he's fucking not. Like, his hands, they're big fucking hands, man, like dinner plates. He's not a little guy. If Izzy didn't exist, I think Rob outskills everyone else at middleweight. I feel he has more tools and is more well rounded than most middleweights' thoughts. I think anytime they fight Israel and Rob, it won't go the distance. And I see it a 50-50 fight. I said that before their fight, said it after their fight. I'm saying it now. I think it's one of those things. It's like one of them is going to land on the other one. They're big guys that are both good strikers, that they're very explosive, dynamic, creative strikers. You know, I don't see it going the distance between them. Like, one of them's going to catch the other one at some point. And the way that they match up means that one of them is going to catch the other one. And that's all I'm really going to say on that. Fab, does it annoy you as much as it annoys me that Bulk receives so much unwarranted criticism? It doesn't annoy me per se, because I just think, like, it's stupid. You know what I mean? I think Volkanovski is probably the most underrated fighter in the UFC, because it just because of he's actually the champion and defended his belt, and people talk like that. You know, like, it's, and I don't think he's lost in the UFC. You know, so you're talking about a very high level guy, and he's not a goose. Like, you can hear him in the podcast and that he knows what he's doing and what he's talking about. You know, it's kind of disrespectful, I think, even to like guys like Max that fought him, because even if you give that fight to Max, that fight was so close. So it was super close. There's no getting around it. Um, yeah, Alexandra. Yeah, people don't realize how big Izzy is. One of my friends from high school, he's 6'5", 260 pounds. Got a photo with Izzy, and he didn't look much bigger. Nah, Izzy is about, like, yeah, 6'4", 6'5". He wouldn't be 260, but he's big, man. He's a big boy. Why do people ask about Rob's diet? Ask about Fab's diet. He's clearly the superior athlete. Did you see the virtual boxing match? So, Fab, do you drink probiotics? I love kombucha, actually. I'm a big kombucha fan. In the podcast with Alex, I was drinking kombucha. Wonder Boy is legit 6 feet and weighs 183, 85 in cage. Israel is actually 6'3" and weighs 190 ish. Man, all I can say to you is I've met them both. I've spoken to both. Um, and Israel is fucking way bigger than Wonder Boy. Um, that's all I can say, man. He's fucking way bigger. No, it's not even like close to have this size. Rob now is way bigger than Wonder Boy, like way bigger. Wonder Boy's not a big guy. Like, when you see him, he's not a big dude. He's not like a like thing. Israel's a big dude, not even close. Cooper Marion, sick to see a breakdown technique Patreon channel. Yeah, man. What I want to do is more like almost like online class where it's interactive, and we, like, the people on the Patreon can ask questions. We can talk about the techniques and everything like we're doing now, and then we're able to do videos breaking that down. You know, that's what I would like to be able to do, and people can interact with it and ask questions and whatnot. What determines a weight class that you should fight in? Height or weight or muscle? Man, what would determine the weight class is if you wrestle. Say you wrestle, you did judo, and if you don't, you should go and compete in a bunch of stuff. If you've never done MMA, you're gonna find out what your optimal weights are. You're gonna work it out, because you're gonna work out, you know, where you compete best at, where you feel the best at, and then you can cut the weight that you feel is healthy and that where you compete. But all of this comes with experience as well. Majority of the light heavyweight division has a similar build to Izzy, same height and same reach advantage, but stronger and bigger. In my opinion, Izzy would have a tougher time with someone like Rakic. Tell you now, Israel's a big, strong guy, mate. He's not strong. He's a big, strong guy. Izzy doesn't cut a lot though. Wonder Boy looks like he doesn't get that big. I'm small, and when I see him, he didn't look crazy athletic or anything. They're both crazy athletic, dude. Israel's a fucking 6'5" guy, middleweight champion of the world that can do backflips. He's fucking athletic. He's very, very, very athletic, and he's a big guy. And yeah, he cuts weight. Believe that he cuts weight. I don't know. It's hard. I'll tell you something. It's hard for me to have like a discussion like this when like I think like, dude, I was there. Like, like we're about to start and we're off. Almost off, actually. Not quite. We're off, people. Lee in the red trunks holding the center of the octagon. Ponzinibbio is on. No, actually, he's holding the center of the octagon. They're both in orthodox stance. Both guys are off to a big start. They're both moving a lot, feinting up and down. No strikes really thrown yet. Ponzinibbio is kind of moving him back towards the cage, winged on a low kick and missed. Again, Ponzinibbio is kind of moving him back. Inside low kick by Lee. Right hand again, another inside low kick by Lee. None of them landing flush. None of them landing flush. Ponzinibbio is looking, kind of stalking him down, kind of feinting, trying to move him back towards the cage. Feinting slowly. I like Ponzinibbio striking. I really do, actually. Lee with a jab to the body. Again, didn't land flush. Lee's a rugged man. I like that. This fight should be good. I'm really excited for this fight. Ponzinibbio's got a nice jab. He's throwing that jab out again, but neither guys have found their range yet. It's 3:36 into the first round. Nobody's found their range. But Ponzinibbio is moving Lee back. Lee with a hook, kind of check hook over the top. Inside low kick by Lee. Another inside low kick by Lee. Checked by Ponzinibbio. Got to be careful throwing that inside low kick. Another inside low kick by Lee. Jab by Ponzinibbio. Lee's showing, feinting with that uppercut. Nice low kick. That's probably the most significant strike of the fight. Low kick by Ponzinibbio. Landed, really dug it in. He's looking at a nice little jab that throws Ponzinibbio. It's not landing. He's not landing, but it throws a nice stiffer jab at the full range of his arm too. So he's starting to find his range. Lee with a nice front kick down the middle. But I believe that Ponzinibbio is starting to do a better job of finding his range. Digs in another low kick, does Ponzinibbio, as Lee looks for the check hook over the top. Jab landed by Ponzinibbio. Lee came in with a right hand, so he's opening himself up a little bit, and Ponzinibbio is able to place that jab then. He's starting to find a home for the jab and a home for the right low kick. Another jab landed by Ponzinibbio, and I believe Lee may have snapped his head back with the right hand. Left hook swung and a miss by Lee. Ponzinibbio is moving him back. His hands are held low. Finds a range with another right low kick. Right left by Lee, neither of which have landed. Ponzinibbio is holding the center of the octagon. Nice jab. He's throwing the jab and moving towards Lee's right, but he's doing so in a way that as he's landing it, he's moving the punch in and then moving his head back away from it. So he's doing a great job of landing that jab and circling right, which is a difficult thing to do. It kind of crowds the right hand of Lee's. So Lee can't get that right hand off. Ponzinibbio is doing a fantastic job here. Lee's looking for swing. There's left and right hooks, but he can't find Ponzinibbio. He's not been able to find Ponzinibbio at all. Right kick by Lee, checked by Ponzinibbio, but Lee throws a right kick straight away again. Side kick thrown by Lee. Lee's throwing a lot of little punches at a false distance, doing a good job. Right low kick by Lee, partially checked by Ponzinibbio. Right kick landed flush by Ponzinibbio. They exchange jabs, neither of which lands. Lee's looking to try and come inside now. Lee lands a little jab there on Ponzinibbio. Jab landed by Ponzinibbio. They exchange. Oh, Lee landed on Ponzinibbio's knocked Ponzinibbio out. Ooh, what a shot by Lee. What a shot. Big show of respect by Lee. Knocked him out. What a shot. My God, what a shot by Lee. Ponzinibbio is doing a good job too. What a shot. Huge shot landed by Lee. Wow. 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 Big left hook landed right on the chin. Right on the chin. My God. Wow. What a left hand. My God. Wow. That was a good left hand. That was a good fight, man. What a good fight. Wow. Forgot about you, Fab. Nice one. Catch the last couple. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. I finally saw the full podcast. I like what you said, what Volk said about winning being most important. Eventually, people will come around. Man, the thing is, like, people talk about trash talk and they go, oh, look at McGregor with his trash talk. People also lose fact. Man, the dude can fight and he does win. There's a lot of guys that talk shit and never win any fights. And you know what? Nobody knows who they are. That's the truth of the matter as well. Nobody knows who that guy is. The guy that talks shit and loses. And I've seen heaps of them. So yeah. Um, doesn't it feel a bit strange to have Chinese flags being raised in Abu Dhabi considering the treatment of Muslims? Um, and I'm generally I don't want to talk about religion and politics on the podcast. So yeah. Isn't there a middleweight that's like 5'6"? I forgot his name. That's oh my god, yeah, he fought the other week, the wrestler. Just a little okay, well, what do you know? Buckley lost. This fight should be a barn burner. What's a softer sport on one's knees, wrestling or jiu-jitsu? I'm young, but old knees. Jiu-jitsu is easier on the knees. I have a really, really, really bad knee. My tibia, like I've had it always. My dad has the same thing, and it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. My tibia doesn't align with the patella and with not with the patella with the femur. It doesn't align, so there's like a bulge in the medial aspect of my knee, which is the actual tibia and the femur out of whack, and my knees are real bad. I can't bend one of my legs properly. Um, by far, jiu-jitsu is easier on your knees because there's a lot of positions you can do, and you can just like for me, there's only certain positions I can do now. I can't do like a whole bunch of stuff. And in wrestling, it's hard because it's so dynamic. There's a lot of things happening, and if you're standing up, you can blow your knees to bits. Uh, that was a big shot, man. That was a big shot that he landed. A good left hook. That like that. What you're saying, that sucks, dude. Dude wins 8 fights in a row, gets injured, and doesn't fight for over 2 years. Comes back and loses. Like I think that's one of the things, man. When people talk about like the refs and everything, the judges, sorry, like one of the bad things I think in the UFC is like the rankings. Like you think you're a guy, you've won 7 fights, 6 fights in a row, 8 fights in a row, in like Charles Oliveira's case, and you don't get a title shot and somebody can just for whatever reason. And it's not even justifiable or not. Like, I'm just saying, like, a guy comes in, he can take your title shot based off whatever, and you lose the next fight, and you may never fight for the title ever. There's guys in the UFC won 6, 7, 8 in a row and never fight for the title. And what do they do? You know what I mean? Like that. That to me is a bigger robbery of fighters than um than anything else. Because if there's a proper ranking system, then you go, all right, well, I've won X amount. I'm ranked number one. I'm next to go. I'm not even saying that that's how it should be. I'm just saying to you, like when people talk about like fighters getting robbed by judges and that. Look, man, I think that the rankings thing robs them worse. Thank you, B. Dot. I really appreciate you reading the Reddit AMA. It was a lot of fun to do. Again, I say, like I said before, Liddy and Ali organized that. It was pretty cool, man. I enjoyed doing it, and I appreciate you guys reading it and taking part in it. What a left hook landed by Lee. My God, landed it flush. Snapped. It landed really, really flush. That was such a big shot, man. Like, and then landed like right. And that again, when we're talking about like the heavyweights, we're talking about other fights, like there's shots you can't take. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're Max Holloway, Mark Hunt, whoever. Like those shots, like right on the point of the chin that just snap you like that, and it lands perfect. That's putting you out. And in MMA, like that'll put you down at the very least, and then the person's going to follow up. In boxing, maybe if you're lucky, you get uh, you know, an 8 count or something, and you get up and you survive the round. But in like that shot, like that, right on the chin, that shakes you. You don't even have to get hit hard. You just have to get hit like perfect, and you're done. Um, man, I honestly, B dot, there are no fans, man. This is just people I like to watch the fights with, man. It honestly works out so good for me, and it works out good for you guys, I suppose. For me, it works out good because I get to watch the fights and have a chat with people that enjoy watching the fights as well and that are fans of the sport, and that's the biggest one for me. Um, if you see it too late and you lean your chin into the punch, I would not suggest you leaning your chin into any punches. Um, Never fought for an thoughts on Overing versus Volkov. I reckon 50-50. I have to say 50-50 at this point as well in their careers, in their respective careers for sure. Um, yeah, I'd have to say for sure 50-50. I'm looking forward to this Max Holloway fight, man. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I like Kattar a lot, a lot, a lot. I really like the way he fights. I really like his style. He's a really, really good fighter. I really, really like it. So I think it's going to be a really, really good matchup. Give me 1 second, people. I'll be back. I am back. I trust everyone was civil to each other while I was gone. Big Jesus. Favorite kickboxer, current kickboxer. He's not actually doing. Cedric, yeah, Cedric Doumbé would be my favorite current one. I'm a big fan of the Rebel, man. Gokhan Saki, big fan. Here's a fight I'd like to see. Gokhan Saki versus Israel at light heavyweight. That's a fight I'd want to see more than Blakovitz. That's me as far as a fight. I'm a big fan of the Rebel, man. Um, I like Bazooka Joe and Jamal Ben Sadiq. Yeah, they're monsters as well. I haven't. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Hoost as well of all time. Maybe Hoost. Yeah, he was a freak, man. I really like seeing Hoost, but at the moment, like when I think, like I like Gokhan Saki a lot. He's just his hand speed and his just the way he throws his kicks and that. I really like watching it. That'd be the fight I'd like to see. Ooh, Alex Pereira versus Izzy 3 in MMA. That's an interesting one. That's a really interesting one. There you go. I think that Israel there, I think, has a little bit more experience with the timing and the different angles and the distances in MMA that can happen. You know, I just being where he's at. Whereas that's just right now. That's an interesting one. Yeah, Pereira versus Izzy 3. That would be another good one. There's some good people there, man. There's some fucking good fighters out there. If Pereira can keep the fights on his feet, scary man, scary man, very scary man. I don't know, man. That would be a good fight to see. Yeah, I think so. But I think Izzy beats him. I just think he does in MMA. Even in kickboxing was still really they were close. The fights wasn't like Alex had it all his way either. It wasn't thing. Did you watch Beta versus Adik Bowie? Yes, I did. I had Adik Bowie on the podcast in the lead up to it. So yeah, I did a podcast with Adik Bowie. His whole interviews up as well. So please like it, watch and subscribe. Um, I did, and Adik Bowie was like, I remember talking to him offline and talking to him online, and he was like, legit, like realistically confident about it. Like he was, like I talk to people and they're confident, but sometimes they're like kind of delusional. But he was like, nah, like he was thinking, and that dude is another guy who's a fucking giant. He's a giant as well. They hit so hard. Kattar had a lot of issues with Moicano kicking his lead leg when he'd step in a jab, same as Max did with Volkanovski. Yes, 100%, 1000%. Max clearly recognized this and made the adjustment in Volkanovski entering with kicks rather than jabs. Do you think he might take a leaf out of Volk's game and try and shut down Kattar's great boxing with the leg attacks? Max is very smart, very smart guy. Has a brilliant team around him, and I think that he will make the necessary adjustments. If kicking is what he needs to do, then he's going to kick. The question is, will Kattar recognize that happened to him and be able to put in the significant changes to stop that from happening? That to me is a bigger question, because Max is going to come out and look to exploit in every way that he needs to, and he's going to use kicks. He's going to try. I also believe he's going to try and clinch a little bit more than what we've seen in the past. And he's going to try and drag him out into deeper waters. He's going to try and drag Kattar out to deeper waters. Very smart guy, man. Very smart guy. I don't know. I think Kattar's got faster hands. I do think he's got faster hands and hits a little crisper. But I do think that Max is going to drown him. I do think that. If it goes early, I think it'll be Kattar, but I don't think it will. Why hasn't kickboxing become more popular? Striking is the most appealing part of MMA. So why doesn't kickboxing have a greater following? Man, I don't know, like how, like if you used to watch K1 back in the day, K1 in Japan was huge. It was huge. It was massive, huge. And the shows and the way that it was promoted and the guys that were superheroes, it was amazing. It was amazing to watch. So it was pretty big back in the day like that. But I think the UFC, they just do such a good job. It's not the product necessarily. It's not just the fighting that they do because there's other organizations that fight and they have good fighters. But the UFC is a marketing monster, propaganda machine, and they have a good product too. So the combination of the good product and the advertising and propaganda and marketing behind it makes it pretty much can't beat it. I'm pretty sure if the UFC wasn't doing MMA and they were doing K1 kickboxing, everyone would be watching it too. Um, yeah, so it's pretty that's my opinion on it as well. Like, I think MMA is so cool, but it's like you said, like the people want to watch the the striking aspect of it. Um, K1 back in the day was huge, man. It was huge in Japan, massive, dude, massive. Um, yeah. So hold on, I just have to fix something here. Okay. If if Max called me for advice on how to beat Volks, would you talk to him? One, Max doesn't need me. Max has got a brilliant team. Two, I'm like literally actually working with Volkanovski, so I cannot. I wouldn't do it. Um, Thoughts on Condit versus Brown? They both seem quite a few past their prime. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's hard to gauge that. Like, it's like watching, not as bad, but it's kind of like watching Tito and Chuck. Like, I remember them as who they were back in the day. Condit was a fucking killer. Matt Brown was a very, very hard man. And I'm sure they both are. Um, I don't think that this will do either one of them justice. I love watching those guys fight. I love watching Matt Brown fight. He's just a hard man. And Condit was right up there with the very, very best welterweights to ever do it. So yeah, I don't necessarily want to see that. Joseph, happy New Year, coach. Looking forward to watching the fight with you this year. Speaking of that, what would be your most anticipated fight in the UFC? Oh, man, I don't know. Like I was right now just because of all the shenanigans that have happened with it. Um, I have to go with Chimaev versus Edwards. That's probably the most anticipated fight for me because I've been waiting for it for so long. And I want to see Chimaev against Edwards. I want to see that fight. I'm actually really pumped to watch that fight. I think they're both really, really good guys, but I want to see Chimaev against one of the better guys in the UFC. Um, and I want to see Edwards if he can keep Chimaev off him, and stop the wrestling. So I'm very, very excited for that fight. If you ask me, like that, gun to my head. But there's a lot of good fights coming up, and the year's just starting, and I'm super pumped to do it, and I'm super pumped to do this with you guys and watch it. So who knows what's coming? Um, yeah, but right now, be that fight for sure. Man, Condit was so good back in the day. That kick he landed on GSP, man, he almost became the champ. You know what I mean? Like the champ by beating GSP. Hard man, real hard man. Um, Tito versus Chuck 3 was ridiculous. Yeah, I don't like that. That was bad. One championship kickboxing is super high level as well. I'm happy that Glory has some competition. Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. Like one championship is really cool. I like watching one championship as much as I can. Um, I've even thought about doing fight commentary for one championship, but the problem is just the time difference is too crazy for me. Like it starts late although we're closer to their time because we're like here in Asia basically. But just that it starts late, and so it finishes really late for me, and it just awkward. Whereas with the UFC, generally it's at mid afternoon on a Sunday, so I can do it. It's very doable. Matt Brown walking out right now. He's walking out right now. Yeah, and I didn't. Yeah, I don't know, man. Condit. I love these guys. I love watching these guys fight. So I don't really want to see it in that way. Like now, Matt Brown looks very, like physically looks ready to go. Looks very very big and strong. But I don't know. I would have favored Condit back in the day. Like I would have favored Condit. You know, can you do a podcast for the upcoming Glory card? Yeah, man. If I'll look at it and see, and then yeah, I can do a podcast for that. Provide the only thing for me is like just the time. You know what I mean? Like that's the if I have time to do it as well, because it's hard with this and obviously with a whole bunch of other stuff, then yeah. But if not, yes, I can. I want to do it for sure. Yeah, guys, if you can also give me your thoughts on stuff for the Patreon like that. Like that's the stuff that I was thinking because I want to do like I said the breakdowns and the interactive kind of class where we can do the different kinds of jujitsu or striking stuff or wrestling stuff that you guys want to know. And from the past fights or fights that just went on, people can ask it. We interact, and then I can do the videos on it later on and put that up on the Patreon. I also want to put up one of the things that I found when I was a younger guy coming up and training and everything was getting the right meals in, and also how to make easy meals that taste good that don't take that long to make. So I'm going to have a lot of those meals up on the Patreon as well. Condit looks super pumped, super pumped, ready to go. He looks really really pumped. I admire guys like Condit, like that, like they didn't grow up in poverty or anything. They're genuinely fighting because they want to fight. Those dudes are dangerous guys, man, because they genuinely could have done something else. Something else. Me, I own Grange TV. I own it. Hey Fab, I just woke up and had a dream that a girl from my okay, Cooper, Marion, $2. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Meals and game plan analysis of old fights is neat. Thank you very much, man. I just want to hear your feedback because obviously you guys are going to be the ones watching it. So yeah, I just want to put up meals that they don't necessarily have to be like the healthiest meals in the world, but like man, when I was younger, I wish somebody had shown me just how to make fried rice, and then I can make fried rice and have it in the fridge and make healthy options of fried rice. That's kind of stuff I want to put up. For example, that's one of many things. Different ways to cook fish, so that if you get a fish, it's easy to cook it. And these are the different ways I can make it. And then you have good meals that are ready to go. Game plan analysis, yeah, for sure, man. We can talk about that. We can break them down. We can talk about different fights, all of that type of stuff. And the major thing is that it'll be interactive. Prime Condit versus the young Rory. Yeah, man, that was an insane fight, man. And that's one of those fights when you look at it and you see a young Rory and you go, wow. Man, Condit is 36 years old, man. He's had so many fights. I thought he was 50, honestly. So Matt Brown's 40, Condit's 36, but Condit's had some brutal injuries, man. Like his knees and that have given way. Like he's had some injuries, in the past. Yeah, that fight, Condit versus Rory, like I said, that was one of the fights where, yeah, Condit impressed me, but like I thought that's how good Rory is. Um, hey Fab, what time do I usually wake up pretty early, man, because I got a 1-year-old, 1 year, 3 months she is. And so my wife kind of stays up with her throughout the night, and then I do the morning shift before I have to do work or whatever. So my daughter just wakes up. She times it to make sure that she wakes us up as we're hitting our REM sleep after she's kept us up all night. And then she wakes up by slapping me. Dude, the other day I thought I was going to fucking punch my daughter in the face. She eye gouged me like this. And she put her fingers in my eyes from the back and ripped them, like ripped my eyes. Mate, I almost cried. Like I thought I was going to punch on with a 1-year-old. She really, really got me good. So that's, yeah, I usually wake up early, man, like 6:30, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something like that. Had to wake up extra early today for the podcast because it starts at 7. Insights and analysis from corners and camps you were a part of would be cool. Yeah, man. Like you got to understand as well, though. There's a lot of stuff that I can't say. Oh, we're off. Both guys super eager to get going. Matt Brown comes in. He's coming in pretty strong. He's kind of leaning into it almost. Leg kick landed by Condit. I think like this, I see Brown getting caught with something because he's kind of coming in pretty hot. Right low kick again by Condit. Right hand, left. Oh, nice elbow landed by Condit. Right low kick landed by Matt Brown. Condit's got this beautiful left high kick that he throws, man. His body leans away. His body's leaning completely away, and the kick's coming up after it. So your eyes kind of follow his head, and the left kick's coming. That's how he got GSP with it. Right low kick landed by Condit. A lot of action here in this fight. Another right low kick, high left kick by Condit. Now he's weaving. He's looking to land that one. Body lock by Matt Brown. Nice body lock. Landed into a smash pass. He's landed in the smash pass position here with a body lock, but now he's back in Condit's half guard. Condit has a very, very, very good and very, very active guard. But up against that fence there, it's a very, very good position because he can't escape towards the fence. Condit. One of the small criticisms that I have for Condit is whilst his guard is very good, he's not the best at getting back up off the ground. And I think Matt Brown's doing a fantastic job of exploiting that, especially where he's putting Condit's head up against the cage like this. And it's kind of like the body's perpendicular to the cage, but the head is parallel. That makes it almost impossible for you to move your hips. And so Matt Brown, very, very smart the way he's doing it. Very, very nice work. Big elbow by Matt Brown. 2:53 to go in the first round. Condit's not suffering a lot of work. I think he's actually opened up some small cuts on Matt Brown, but Matt Brown landed some big ground and pound there. Condit's not doing a great job of getting up off the ground. He's got a closed guard here on Matt Brown. Matt Brown's going to chew up the clock, and now Condit has gotten away from the cage, and that's going to give him ability to move his hips. But he's got a closed guard, which I don't like in this position. Obviously, who am I to criticize Carlos Condit? I'm just saying the closed guard like that, it's just going to burn time for you. And Matt Brown is able to land some ground and pound. So that closed guard there, it's not the best. And Condit is not seeming to do a massive job of getting up. This arm that he's got trapped now underneath him, behind him, that Matt Brown has of Condit's, is a bad news for Condit here. But Condit is able to get that arm free. Condit's he's got one hook in. He's going to try and look to elevate Matt Brown's hips, but Matt Brown's doing a fantastic job of not letting that happen and pushing him up against the cage. Condit's now shielding from a half guard position, kind of rolled through, and he's looking for a triangle. Matt Brown postures up out of it and lands a right hand for all of Condit's troubles. Condit's got great movement, but he's not using it to get up. He's looking for an armbar. Matt Brown's elbow's already out. He might transition to a triangle here, but he's not going to get it. The posture's too good, and he knows what's happening, and he's landed another elbow, has Matt Brown. Another Condit's exchanging strikes with Matt Brown, and he's looking to roll into some sort of leg lock here if he can get it. I think because he's not going to get the armbar, and Matt Brown is not going to let him get. Yeah, he's not going to get it. 54 seconds to go. He's still in the closed guard, and Matt Brown's going to take this round, I believe. He's trapped that arm behind him again, has Matt Brown, which can prove to be a big problem because then you can't defend yourself from this side. So he's got his arm trapped behind his back, but his guard is good and it's so active. He's gone into half guard now, back to full guard. Now he's looking to stand up, but there's 26 seconds to go, and he does hit the switch. He hit the switch on Matt Brown. He's got Matt Brown onto his back. Carlos Condit has a very good switch. He hit that on GSP before. Brown is gone for now. He's gone for the armbar leg lock combination, and Condit is landing shots from the top, and he's only 8 seconds to go. Looking to roll. I don't think he's not going to finish this. He's landing some nice elbows on Matt Brown. There's a nice big right hand landed by Carlos Condit. What time, Athelstar? What time is the UFC? What time are they fighting now? What time is it in Europe? Yeah, no, that was a good round. But see, to me, Matt Brown looks like he lost the round, but he won that round, like clearly. But when you look at his face and you look at him in the corner, Matt Brown's got cuts on his elbow, cuts above his eyebrow and whatnot. Carlos Condit's very good at throwing those elbows, man, from any position. From any position. I'd like to see Carlos stop those the takedowns earlier. Me personally. The stainless stove. The Mountain from God had a boxing match versus a cruiserweight. He started strong, but David versus Goliath got beat up in the later rounds. It was sick. Hey, more importantly, thank you so much for your support. We're off, guys. We're off again into the second round. Condit throws a left low kick, then a high kick, then he blitzes in with the combinations and throws a left high kick at the end of it. Condit throws a right hand and throws his patented left high kick that he does where he drops his head, drops that level. Oh, Brown steps in with a massive elbow, then a push kick. He landed that right elbow right on Condit's chin. Condit has a granite chin. Throws a jab, does Condit. Thank you so much, Stainless Stove. Left high kick landed by Condit. Matt Brown looking tired. He's starting to look a little bit tired. And the worst for wear, he's starting to take some shots here. Condit's got his hands low. Both guys have their hands low. Right hand landed by Condit. He stepped outside and threw that right hand down the middle. Now he's in a southpaw stance. He's looking. Oh, right hand landed. Right hand lead by Brown. Brown looking for another takedown. I want to see Condit keep this on the feet. Nice effort by Condit. Left, right by Brown. They exchange kicks. Condit fell to the ground. Brown did not capitalize on that. Jab thrown by Condit. Left inside kick by Brown. 1-2, and he kind of ducked under it. Now Brown looking for another takedown. They're in the clinch. Brown working some knees. Ooh, left body rip by Condit, followed by a 1-2. Brown is trying to, again, another takedown. Body lock. He's looking for that body lock takedown is Brown. He's holding Condit up against the cage. It's 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Condit's looking very dangerous on the feet. I really like him on the feet, but Brown's doing a very good job of looking for these takedowns. Oh, nice. Condit's doing a good job. He's looking for the Uchimata here with the Wizard. Doesn't get it. Now they're exchanging kind of Muay Thai exchanging against the cage. Condit's looking for this body lock. He's looking for it. He's looking to hold him up against the cage. He's got his left hand up against Condit's hip. No takedown. Brown steps away. Left, right landed by Condit. And now Condit back to southpaw. Condit with a sweep, a takedown of his own. What a great What a great work by Condit. He's really looking for the takedown on Brown. Brown scrambled to get up. Then he caught a single leg and ran the pipe. Did Condit. Condit is now on top. Brown is looking to elevate him. He's got double underhooks and one butterfly in. But Condit's halfway to passing, I believe, here. But Condit's not looking to pass. Again, Brown is now got one butterfly in. He's holding very, very tightly onto Condit. Condit is framing, using his shoulder and landing a little bit of ground and pound to the body. There's 1 minute 47 seconds to go. Lands a nice left elbow, does Condit. You do not have to land the elbows hard just to create the cuts. You do not have to land them hard. You just have to land them hard enough. Nice work by Condit. Another elbow landed. Nice work. So he's going to the body is Condit. Another elbow by Condit. Then he's not landing big shots, but they are scoring, and Matt Brown is not getting up, not trying to get up. He's holding on to Condit. He's got one butterfly in. His guard is not active at the moment, and Condit is able to keep position and landing little short, sharp elbows and body shots. And Matt Brown is starting to look the worse for wear. Big right elbow attempt by Condit. Now he's framing on Matt Brown. He's starting to pass the guard. He's in half guard now. Trapping the arm, looking for a crucifix. Matt Brown recognized that he's out of it. He's looking for a Kimura. Changed. Now Matt Brown is kind of looking for a deep half here, but he hasn't got the legs in the right spot for the half guard pass. Condit is all over him. He's in half guard. It's Condit. He's got good head control, and Matt Brown has now regained the full guard, kind of a full guard with a butterfly in it. Left elbow again. Big elbows now starting to land by Condit. Condit's doing a really, really good job. There's 23 seconds to go. And I believe that Matt Brown will survive this round. But this is all Condit. 10 seconds to go. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Elbows landed. Matt Brown has done no effort to get up off his back. So this is not looking good for Matt Brown. That's the round there. That was the round. I'd give it 1 round apiece, probably. Yeah, I'd give it 1 round apiece. At the start, two. Okay, so it's 10:45 at your house right now, and the UFC usually starts at midnight. That's brutal. It's a shame how certain judges only remember the last 30 seconds of a round. It's hard, man, when you got subjective decisions. Like, it is a subjective decision. It's hard, man. It's not an easy thing. I wouldn't be a judge at all. Game of Thrones, I had no idea what you were talking about, Stainless Stove. I'll be honest with you. I had no idea. It was a brilliant sweep, Jason. Is it hard to commentate a fight at 8:40 a.m.? No, it's not hard. It's just I got up fucking early. That's all. And Wednesday's fight or Thursday's fight is going to be even earlier. That's the Magni fight that we'll be doing. So that's going to be really, really, really early. From what planet does Condit learn these techniques? He's very, very unorthodox, man. He's very, very different, man. He's a different kind of fighter. Yeah, I give it 1-1. We're off, people. We're off. Groin strike landed there. So yeah, I have the fight 1 apiece, my opinion. We're about to kick off again. And we're off, people. We're off. Condit looking for the jab. He's looking to land this jab. Right low kick landed by Condit. Matt Brown's face is looking like he's taking a lot of punishment. That was a nice high kick landed by Condit. Double leg by Matt Brown attempting. He looks to sweep the leg. Unsuccessful in his attempt. Condit has moved him up against the cage and landed a punch. Over the top was a right hand, then right hand to the body, left hook up top by Condit. But Matt Brown just keeps coming. Matt Brown looking for another body lock takedown. Is not going to get it. Condit's got the body lock and he's pushed him up against the cage. Has Condit. Nice foot sweep by Matt Brown. Matt Brown's looking for that right elbow. Both these guys are in the worst for wear, but they really, really fought hard. Single leg attempt by Matt Brown, but Condit's out of it by now. He's taken his back. He's got one hook in. He's got both hooks in. He's got both hooks in and standing up. He's looking for a half Nelson to control the far arm of Condit. So he's looking to control Condit is looking to control Matt Brown's arm. He's looking for, he could get yep. So he controlled the far leg. Now he's got Brown to the ground. Brown is on both knees with Condit on his back. Condit has sunk both hooks in, and he's looking to tie up the arms and flatten Matt Brown out. Matt Brown's in a lot of trouble here. There's 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Condit's just taking his time now. He's got both. Now, Matt Brown could potentially be able to shake him off because Condit has to get off. So Condit has now taken one of his hooks out. He's got his left hook in, and he's looking to control here. He needs to control the far side arm so that he doesn't get bucked off. But he's doing a fantastic job, is Condit, of controlling the legs and keeping the fight down on the ground. Matt Brown's looking for a guillotine, but he's not going to get it because Condit's past the guard. Now Condit's kind of in a side control kind of situation. And Matt Brown's not going to get back up, I don't think, for the rest of this fight if Condit doesn't finish him. Ground and pound being landed by Condit now. He's in a kind of smash guard position and he's passing. He's looking for the full mount. He's got like a slight, like kind of quarter guard does Brown, but now he's given up his back. Condit has taken his back. He's got both hooks in. He's got a half Nelson controlling. Now he's looking for the rear naked choke. He's looking for the body triangle, but Matt Brown did a great job of defending that and he's gotten up. Matt Brown has gotten up. I did not think he was going to be able to get up. Well done, Matt Brown. Good on you. He's gone for a double leg, but Condit has a very, very good switch, and he's done this switch on some very, very good wrestlers. Condit is scissoring his legs now. He's looking for a Kimura. He's slipped off the Kimura, threw a up kick. Now he's landed. He's in a triangle, is Matt Brown. He's in Condit's triangle. He's posturing up out of it. He's 1:40 seconds to go. I believe that Matt Brown is losing this round. He has to do something special here. However, there's 1:30 seconds to go. Condit is in full guard. If Matt Brown can do some significant damage here, I had a 1 round apiece, and I have Condit winning this round. It was 1:20 seconds to go. Let's see what happens in this round. Again, very flexible legs, very active guard. Matt Brown's not doing enough from this position to do anything. If anything, Condit is landing all the shots, landing them all around the ears. There's 1 minute to go now. Condit needs to get up. I was going to say, you do not want to just that round to be finished with you on your back. It could cost you the fight. I don't know that it would. I have Condit winning this round, but you don't know. So now Matt Brown went for a single leg, landed a big elbow, did Condit. Big double leg by Condit, but Matt Brown reversed it. Matt Brown reversed it with 36 seconds to go. Exchanging elbows. Matt Brown looking for elbows from the top. Matt Brown's landing some ground and pound now, but not enough. He's not going to finish this round. I don't know. I think Condit made this round closer than it needed to be. You know, I think that Condit did win it, but the way that Matt Brown is finishing this round could give Matt the win. So it's, I don't know. That was a close. I had Condit winning, but I don't know. I think Matt Brown came back strong, you know. Okay. What fights? You asked the question, what fights was pretty cool? The tougher fight was good. The Ponzinibbio fight was good. The Buckley fight was good. This fight was good. It was pretty good, man. It was pretty good at the start. It was pretty good. Yeah, look, man, like I said, I think the judges cop it a lot worse than what actually happens. Like, it's a really, really tough job. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know who won that fight. I had a 1-1, and then I had Condit winning, and then I had Matt Brown come back like crazy. Yeah, he came back. I don't think he did enough damage necessarily, but who knows? Who knows, man? That was such a close fight, that one. But I feel that Condit kind of let open the door again. You know what I mean? Open the door to let Brown back in, kind of thing. And Brown fought all the way to the end. It was a good fight. Brown's not happy. I can't hear what they're saying. Condit won it. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But it got very, very close. Very, very, very close. Excuse me. I have this monster here with me, helping me commentate. And the dog is all get out. This is my daughter, people. This is my daughter. This is her first podcast. I'm gonna get her out of here. Excuse me. Man, that those fights with Lawler and Condit, they were crazy, man. They were crazy, crazy fights. Um, I think it says you think both of them are retiring after this. Man, I watching those legends like that fight. It's amazing. I like it. I was a fan of both of them, but I don't like seeing that anymore. You know what I mean? I like remembering them how they were. Yeah, she is. She is a cutie. Look at her. Yeah, the dog. The dog's good too. He's a good boy. He is a good boy. But this terror is someone that doesn't let me sleep at night, mate. This person doesn't let my wife and I sleep. She's a sleep terrorist. So yeah, I'm gonna go give her back. She almost took my eye out with these things yesterday. Baby. Take the monster. Yes, that monster attacked me yesterday. I gouged me and I had to defend myself in any way that I saw fit. So yeah, now moving into that main event of the evening, I believe, isn't it? Please let me know who you think. Man, she reached in inside my glasses and it was bad, man. Yeah, man, you got to be careful. They don't care. They have no empathy, man. They have no empathy whatsoever. She really tried to kill me, my daughter, and I was really really hurt by that. You would think that she wouldn't, that she'd have some sort of empathy towards me, you know. Just before the main event, guys, one more time, I'm just going to go over this again. Um, again with this, please go to Manscaped, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FAB. We do have some fantastic products. And like I said before, and I'll say it again, no need to use these kind of things anymore. These things are uncomfortable. They don't have the best shave. Yes, of course, they're convenient. You can get them anywhere at any warehouse, anywhere. But these things are not your optimal shaving devices. Now we have things such as this through Manscaped. These are much better. These clippers are much better. They're very, very good, very easy to use, very hygienic. And these things like this, man, this is very, very good. But this is the best thing in the world. I honestly can't tell you enough with stuff like this. This is helps very good with a lot with chafing. So if you run, surf, or any of that stuff, any of the chafing, that is the best thing in the world by far. I mean, this thing is the best. Use it as much as you can. So go to Manscaped, get 20% off, free shipping with the code FAB. Thank you very much for that, people. I just thought I'd let you all know and use it, please. Man, everyone, everyone's been there. Everyone's been there. Everyone's needed to shave or whatever, and the only thing they have is a hatchet, and people do it. And but there's I just want you guys to know that there's a better way, and you're not alone. You're not the only person. Fab does Manscaped. I think if you go to Manscaped to their website, it will have everything that they have available, and then you can do whatever you want thereafter and use the code FAB for 20% off. So if you go to Manscaped, use the code FAB, you will get 20% off. I don't know much about that Stephen A. Smith guy. Might have to give it a test run for science. I believe you should give it a run. I believe you should. Who did you Volkanovski think predict would win the main? Max. Both of us thought Max. But I don't think it's a walk in the park for Max. I just think just because of Kattar's other fights where volume, people have been able to exploit the volume and the large vocabulary of strikes, that's been a little bit difficult for him. What is your opinion on a Conor versus GSP fight at catchweight 165 in case Khabib does not want to return? It's hard, man, because GSP's like 40 now. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's still in shape and all of it and the rest of it, but he's still 40. The hatchet is not a great choice for sensitive skin. Manscaped 3.0 is perfect. Absolutely. Well said, Sasank. That's what you want to be using. You want to be using the Manscaped products and you want to put the code word FAB in, and you don't want to be using the hatchet anymore because the hatchets aren't the best products for manscaping. No. Tasman Andrews, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Hey, I really appreciate the support, people. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Really, really need it. So thank you very, very much. Yeah, Athostar is I've used hatchet in the past for my hair as well, but it doesn't work as good as other clipper products and whatnot. Thank you guys, and thank you so much for all the support and everything. Oh, awesome, Tasman. I'm glad that you did, man. I'm glad that you used the code. Please use the code because you get 20% off. So if you buy any kind of Manscaped products, use the code FAB and you will receive 20% off plus free shipping. I miss Eli. I miss Eli as well, mate. Eli is out fighting fires or causing fires and then fighting them. Who knows with Eli, man? You don't know people like that. I still think that he uses the ladders and that to perv on people. Big Jesus wrote, the ball spray is just what the doctor ordered for your buds below. It's soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts. Keep your high friction areas cool, calm, and protected after a good shave. Mate, ain't that the truth? Yes, remember, my name, Fab, as your code. Man, curious to see what Kattar's game plan is. I do believe that Kattar is going to try and wrestle as well. I do believe, not necessarily even to take Max down, but definitely to start giving Max different looks because you can't go in there and just do what you do. Like you're going to have to go in there with a good game plan with Max. Max will come in there with a great game plan himself, but he's also very, very, very good at changing on the fly. He's very, very good at changing on the fly. He's very good at adapting in the fight, so difficult fight. Are you excited to see Clarissa Shields debut in PFL? Also, opinions on her training at Jackson Wink. Jackson Wink has got a lot of good fighters. They've got very, very good trainers. They've got a proven track record. So they know what they're doing. I'm looking forward to Clarissa Shields' debut. Like a boxer of that caliber in women's MMA will be very, very interesting to see how she does with her game. I still think Kattar puts all of his straws in the KO bucket. I don't know if that is the right approach against Holloway. I don't know. I don't think Kattar fights like that anyways. I don't think he goes into swinging for the fences. But he hits hard and accurate and well. What is your favorite combat sport? MMA, BJJ, kickboxing, Muay Thai, or boxing? Like MMA overall, but I'll go through phases of all the other ones, including judo, sambo, and wrestling. I like watching all of them as well. So and like I'll go backwards and forwards between them. If I had to pick just one, I'd probably pick wrestling. And I never got the chance. I never got the chance to actually practice folk style wrestling properly, but I like watching that. Probably one of the things I like watching is folk style wrestling. I don't know what the walkout songs are. Fab, is Paul Gallen cheap for calling out a smaller Whitaker in boxing? He should call out someone his own size. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I don't think he's cheap. I think he's Rob's the biggest name in Australia in combat, so he called that guy out. You know what I mean? Different if he called out like Volkanovski, who's a lot smaller, but Rob's close enough to his size. In case people think they're in Kattar's last match he did a training camp with Bazooka Joe here in Toronto. He definitely picked up some solid kickboxing. Yeah, Kattar's no joke, man. Let's see what happens here, man. I'm really, really interested. I don't know if I like Max Holloway's look like this. Like it's a very different look. The thing as well with MMA, with fighting, is like the momentum matters a lot. And I feel that Kattar has a lot of momentum at the moment. That's one thing that I will say. I feel that he's got a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, and he's got really good boxing, man. Really, really, really good boxing. You know, he hits really, really hard, really sharp, really fast. Is that going to be enough against Max? I don't know. I don't know. He can wrestle too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is with the. Yeah, the thing is as well, Max is tall, and when people talk about reach, you got to understand that reach is measured by wingspan. So a lot of it, like when people say, "Oh, Volkanovski's got crazy reach," and da 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 da. Now he's broad across his chest, and they measure it wingspan in the UFC. So a guy like Max, when you look at Max versus versus Volkanovski, and I said this before the fight, and I said like, I think Volkanovski dealing with that range and that reach, and everyone's like, no, Volkanovski's got longer arms, like that's like this wingspan, not like that, and Max is much more narrower than Alex. So I said that before when they fought their first two fights, and the other thing is you're also dealing with the height, your ability to pull back, your legs, you can kick, so the reach is definitely there. So I don't think there's much in that. Um, Thoughts on Rob versus Costa? I think Rob beats him. Like I think Rob, like it'll kind of look like between a cross between Rob versus Cannonier and Izzy versus Costa. It'll be like Rob will pick him apart. Rob's way faster, man. Way, way, way faster, and he's very, very, very powerful, very, very, very strong. So I don't see Costa beating Rob unless Costa catches Rob with something. Of course he can catch Rob with a left hook or something like that, but I really don't see it Favorite MMA fight of all time, gun to my head, probably Krokop versus Fedor. Probably Krokop versus Fedor. What it meant at the time and everything. That's one of them. Yeah, absolutely. At the start, people use reach in different ways depending on their fighting style. And like your ability to kick people and whatnot. That matters a lot. Till versus Vittori. Hey, I'm on the Vittori train at the moment. I'll tell you right now. I wasn't necessarily before, but he won me over. Um, okay, no, it's going to be Ferguson versus Pettis was crazy too. That was a crazy fight. Keita's looking good, mate. Looking very good, is Keita. I've got a feeling this fight's not going to go the distance. I was had it as it going the distance, but I just starting to get a feeling that it's not going to go the distance. Yeah, Krokop's almost my neighbor. I didn't watch Fedor versus Krokop live, but I still remember watching him demolish Bob Sapp as a kid. What do you mean he's almost your neighbor? Do you follow any other sports? I don't really follow any sports. Um, I like basketball a lot. I played basketball growing up, so I like that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably basketball. Other than combat sports, you mean? Yeah, probably basketball. Who you reckon Cannonier will be matched up against? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know because the thing is, man, there are some up and coming guys in that division that you don't like. You didn't really have them down as like, okay, this guy's gonna be good or this guy's not. Da, 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 da. So there's a bunch of guys that by year's end, I think the middleweight division is going to look very different because the middleweight division at one point was absolute killers. And then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of these guys got older and they're either not as good or they're not in the organization anymore or they just haven't been performing as well. And the middleweight division kind of got old real quick. And now there's like a younger wave of guys coming through. And it's going to look very, very interesting, I think, by year's end again. When I say it got old, I'm not saying it got bad or it got terrible. I'm just saying like you got a lot of guys that are like your Weidmans, your Rockholds, your Romero's, Cannonier, all these guys that and were and are at the top, just a 35 plus. Yeah, I can't hear the music. I don't know what music Katars and or Max are coming out to. Um, yeah, so yeah, light heavyweight, heavyweight. Those those three divisions, they're kind of in a situation of flux at the moment. Where you don't, I don't know. So I don't know who Cannonier could get matched up with. There's some interesting guys in that division for sure. How draining is a weight cut? Very draining, and it depends on how much weight you have to cut, in how much time you have to cut it, how well you're going to rehydrate. That's the hard thing. Cutting the weight, that's what people don't understand. That they go, oh, he could fight at this weight, or he could. It's not cutting the weight. Anyone can cut the weight. It's what are you going to be like when you get in the cage? Not everyone can rehydrate and replenish properly. Um, in terms of effect, it again, like I said, it depends how you rehydrate and how well you can rehydrate. So it's not just a question of cutting the weight. You know, it can affect your performance massively. You can be drained, gassed out. It affects your chin because there's less fluid in your brain. Your brain's like this big, literally. Like I'm doing two fists together. So that's the size of your brain. It sits inside your skull and it sits in water. And if you're dehydrated, there's less water, and your brain's just going to smash into your skull every time you get hit. Um, Light heavyweight starting to have some, yeah, absolutely. If GSP fought Khabib, who would you bet on? When? Now? Or like both in their primes, and at what weight? I'd I'd really like to see how many people would be moving divisions if weight cut wasn't a thing. You'll always cut weight, man. They'll cut weight on the day if they have to. They'll do whatever they can, but it'll probably get more dangerous. Who knows? I don't know. It's difficult. Yeah, the GSP versus Khabib. It depends on what weight. GSP in his prime at 170. I go with GSP at 170. Khabib in his prime at 155. I'll go with Khabib at 155. Today, if they fight, I'll probably go with Khabib. Period. 170 or 155. Bruce Buffer is looking. GSP and Khabib now 165. Khabib. I'll go with Khabib now 165. I just see it as a little bit. GSP's a little bit, he's a bit older now than what he was before. And that the way that the Khabib fights is like, that's for a young man, that's completely like physical, it's like at some point he's going to break you physically and mentally after that. I'm fairly sure if something like hydration tests were implemented and weighing in on the day of the fight, there'd be less issues. There'd be different issues. There'd be different issues for sure. Um, I'm still hoping with my heart we get Ferguson versus Conor. Ferguson deserves it. I think right now Conor beats Ferguson, my opinion. So they've got here Kattar as an underdog at plus 135. This is going to be interesting, man. I'm really, really. GSP took 4 years off and won middleweight. Yeah, but he's like, that was, I don't know, 3 years ago or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not now. Now he's 40 years old. And as you're getting older, each year matters. And it's easier for you to go up as you get older than it is for you to go down because you get heavier. Oh, no. Athelstar, 100% it'd be healthier. 1000% it'd be healthier. As in far in, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. All I'm saying is like, there's always people going to be pushing the boundaries, for sure. So I'm really pumped for this. Max has got so much miles on him, man. So much miles. And he's got sustained a lot of damage over the years, like not just in the fights, but in sparring as well, like the amount of camps that he's been through, the amount of fights he's had, the amount of tough fights he's had. It's a lot. It's a lot. Keita looks very, very sharp, man. He looks sharp the way he's looking. Man, for GSP to make lightweight today, I didn't. We're off, people. We're off. High guard by both guys. Max doubles up on a jab to kick things off. Keita with a nice low kick on Max's calf. Max goes looking for one of his own. Nothing doing. Max with a looping jab. That's the thing Alex Volkanovski was talking about with the way that Max uses his jab. He throws straight jabs down the middle. He throws jabs from the bottom. He throws looping jabs. He's very, very good with that jab. He throws all different kinds of jabs. Keita landed one of his own just then down the middle. Another calf kick landed by Keita. Great work by Keita. Max goes with a 1-1-2. Keita's taking all of them on the gloves, though, except for that jab. The last one got through. Calf kick up by Max landed. Swing and a miss with the left hand by Keita. Max doubles up on the jab and then goes with the right hand to the head, and then he does the same thing but goes to the body, none of which land flush. Another calf kick landed by Max. An attempt by Kattar of a calf kick. Right hand attempted by Kattar. Nice combination landed by Max. Max's hands are looking fast today. And he's starting faster than usual. Nice calf kick by Kattar. Max goes looking for an oblique kick. Doesn't get it, but I think it was more to help him with the distancing to keep Kattar away from the calf kick. Looks for another oblique kick. Stepping in from the orthodox into the southpaw position to throw that oblique kick. So he's throwing it from the rear leg. Calf kick landed by Max. And again, throws an oblique kick. Ooh, combination lands with the left jab right at the end of that. But Kattar hits him on the nice jab as well. 3 punches thrown by Max. Jab landed by Kattar. 2 minutes 40 seconds to go. Max controlling the center of the octagon. 1-2 landed by Max, and a 2 landed by Max. Ooh, nice body shots landed by Max. Kattar's moving back. Another calf kick landed by Kattar. Max looking to find his distance here with the jabs already red around the calf of Max. Ooh, nice kick of his own landed by Max, and then an oblique kick landed by Max. Both guys chewing up each other's lead legs. But Max is throwing the better combinations. He's throwing the better combinations with his hands along with the kicks. So now Kattar's looking again for that right hand counter that he does so well. But Max is very, very smart. What Max is doing, he's throwing his punches in combinations, 3, 4s, and he's moving forward as he does it. He's not throwing he's not taking the 1 or 2 from Kattar and then throwing just one back and then allowing Kattar to counter. So he's throwing in combinations and moving Kattar backwards so that Kattar can't just counter the punch. Very, very smart from Max. Another calf kick landed by Kattar. Nice. To the body and then to the head by Max. Max is throwing those combinations so well. Right hand landed by Max. They both swing. Neither one lands flush. 3-punch combination landed by Max. Max is doing a fantastic job of mixing that up, going to the body and to the head with his punches. Kattar seems to be having a little bit of difficulty finding the range. Oh, spinning back kick landed on the body of Kattar. He's finding a little bit difficult to find the range with Max. Another spinning back kick by Max. Right hand landed by Max. Right hand landed by Kattar. Another low kick by Kattar. Right hand landed by Max. Nice little uppercut by Max, thrown, then a right hand. So like a little left hand jab uppercut kind of thing that he throws. Another spinning back kick by Kattar, by Max, misses. Kattar throws a right high kick, misses. I think those body shots are starting to wear a little bit on Kattar. Max throws the front kick down the middle. And that's the round, ladies and gentlemen. So, man, this is Holloway did a really good job of putting that pressure on Kattar from the start. And he's doing a really good job of mitigating Kattar's counterpunching by throwing in combinations and moving Kattar back. But Kattar's doing a fantastic job of landing the calf kicks. I give that round to Max, right? Max has landed some body shots that are going to affect the breathing of Kattar. They're going to affect his cardio. But Kattar has landed some big calf kicks on Max, big ones. Max has also landed leg kicks on Kattar, but I like the ones that Kattar has landed more. This fight is going to be which of these guys is going to survive this war of attrition. I think those body shots, have already started to affect Kattar, in my opinion. We're off, people. We're off. Max again throwing in combinations. So he's throwing in 1, 2s, and 3s. Like he's not just throwing one and stopping. He might throw a jab, then he'll throw a 1, 2, and then he'll throw a 1, 2, 3. See? He's not just throwing ones here and there so that Kattar can counter over the top. Doing a fantastic job of doing that. Nice. Max's hand speed looks on point, and so does his head movement today. Little bit of showmanship there by Max. Ooh. Both guys exchanging combinations there. Kattar landing a left hook. Max throws a right low kick, but which is partially checked by Kattar. Max also looking for the oblique kick. The oblique kick is kind of making Kattar's legs stay at home a little bit more. The body shots are landing by Max. Ooh, nice knee to the body by Max. That vocabulary of strikes and the volume is what Kattar has had problems with. And Max obviously knows this and has jumped on him in the first. Then he went looking for that counter right-handed Kattar. So Max was able to jump on him in the first and second and keep it going, you know. Kattar looks a little hurt now. His body's reddening as well from the body shots. Max is so good at not being there, just sliding out of the way. But Kattar caught him there with I think Max caught him with an uppercut. Nice oblique kick. The oblique kick doesn't let Kattar plant his foot and throw the calf kick because you can't just do that because if you get caught with the oblique kick as you're throwing the calf kick or your weight, then you can do your knee. So oblique kick he's doing a good job of keeping Kattar away with it. Throws that right hand counter, does Kattar. Another spinning back kick by Max. The body shots are definitely starting to take their toll. 1, 2 landed by Max. And again, a jab to the body. Kattar looking for the center of the octagon. He's landed a big right hand then on Max. Max is sliding with it, but still it's landing. Another calf kick attempt by Kattar. Good job. Max is just landing so much though. Ooh, nice combinations of both guys are trading, but I do think that the volume that Max has hit Kattar with has really affected. Right hand landed by Max has really affected Kattar, and Kattar doesn't have the pop anymore, I don't think, to knock Max out or to stop him. Max is doing a fantastic job now. It's just different vocabulary strikes. Another oblique kick landed by Max. Kattar went high with the right kick. Max in with a flying knee again to the body. He's hitting the spleen there. Another kick to the body by Max. Great work to the body by Max. Really, really, really impressive. Another jab to the body. Another right hook to the body. Oh, big elbow landed over the top by Max. Kattar is hurt. Max landing shots to the body and to the head. There's 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. I don't know that Kattar's going to survive this. I don't know that he's going to get out of this round. Kattar swinging hard, right and a left. But his strikes are now coming labored. Big oblique kick landed by Max. Big elbow by Max. Left hand landed by Max. Right, left landed by Max. 1, 2 landed by Max. Shot after shot. Now Kattar's face a bloody mess. Max's elbows have opened him up completely. Another elbow thrown by Max. Another oblique kick by Max. Kattar's looking to clinch. He's got him. Double underhooks against the cage. He's looking to trip him, but Max is doing such a fantastic job. He's very, very strong in that position, is Max. Very clever in that position is Max, more I should say. 1, 2 landed by Max. Another elbow landed by Max. Spinning elbow attempt by Max misses. Another oblique kick now. There's blood everywhere. This is going to be a big problem for Kattar because he's not going to be able to see all the punches that are coming, and they're coming at him from different angles and different directions. It's a tough one for Kattar. very tough day in the office. That's the bell, guys. That's the time. Where's my bell gone, actually? I've been through this whole day with no belt. The cuts, yeah, the cut's pretty. He's got a lot of cuts. His nose is bleeding. Max is starting to land shot after shot after shot now, and he's finding it difficult to see as well. I think once they're in there, and Max is just going to keep pouring it on here. Those body shots, man, have been money by Max. They exchange jabs here. You can see it. The oblique kick, Max adjusted very, very well with that oblique kick because you can't just plant your foot and throw the calf kick when somebody's doing that. Yeah. Okay. Second round's about to start. We're off, people. We're off. Third round, both guys come to the center. Kattar looking for that right hand down the middle. Max looking very confident. Another oblique kick by Max from the rear leg. Max goes for a spinning elbow, misses. Max looking very determined here. Very, very, very determined. Lands a 1-2, does Max. Landed a nice little right hand there. Again goes to the body, does Max. 1-2 by Max, landed. Big elbow by Max, landed. Combinations landing by Max. They're in the clinch. Kattar looks for the double unders, but they're 50-50 clinch now. And Max has got him up against the cage. This is just mitigating the damage for Kattar, but it's not really giving him any options or any way out. It's not winning him the round. He throws an elbow on the break, but doesn't land it. Again, Max doing a fantastic job. And this is what I mean. Like, he holds the center. Oh, nice uppercut landed by Kattar. He holds the center and doesn't chase Kattar around. Kattar's now landed a right. When it goes for a right and a left, but misses. But he did land something that hurt Max then. What a chin that Max has got. Now they're exchanging uppercuts. Some big shots landing there by these featherweights. Max doubles up on the jab. Calf kick landed by Kattar. Oblique kick landed by Max. Jab landed by Kattar. Oblique kick by Max. Whoa, 3-punch combination landed by Max. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go. Kattar steps in with the right hand. Oh, another body shot with the right hand by Max. Kattar switched to southpaw, and Max has landed a body kick plus a left hook. Kattar lands a jab, Max lands a jab of his own. Max again looking for the body with that right hand, looking to knee. He's kneed the body. Kattar's tough as anyone else out there, man. He's taken so many shots, taken a lot of punishment in this fight. Oh, lands a 1-2 on Max. Snapped Max's head back. That was a lovely shot by Kattar. Very, very good. Still showing he's got some pop in those punches. Attempts a takedown, does Kattar. Max has him in a front headlock. Kattar arm drags out of the front headlock. Jab by Max. 2 minutes to go. Max another oblique kick. Left hand lead by Max from the southpaw position. He's gone back to orthodox. Both guys. So Kattar pouring away with a jab. Oblique kick landed again by Max. Right hand. Ooh, flying knee by Max. 1 minute, 29 seconds to go. Oblique kick again by Max. Kattar still coming forward. Still coming forward. Max landing so many variations of the jab. So many variations. It's showing him all different looks with that jab. Right high kick by Max. Whoa, 1-2 landed by Max. Oblique kick again by Max. The oblique kick has been a great adjustment from Max to stop the calf kicks. Exchanging jabs, both guys, but Holloway getting the better of it. Another jab landed by Holloway. 40 seconds to go. This third round, another check hook landed by Holloway. Exchanging punches. There's 30 seconds to go. Another rip to the body by Holloway. Holloway's doing such a great, fantastic job on the body here. Doubles up on the jab, does Max. Lands another shot to the body and a right hand to the head. Ripping the body is Max. Rights and lefts to the body. Another jab landed. A 1-2 landed by Max. Max with his hands down, dodging the punches. Bit of showmanship. Now he's landing the punches and he's talking to him. It's a third round there. All Max. The shots, man, that he's taking are crazy, man. This is the third round, Randy. The third round just finished. And it's all Max. All Max. All Max. It was taking quite a few shots. Man, that was... Yeah, he did a fantastic job, did Kattar, of surviving and still being in here well into this now, going into the fourth round. He's well into the fight now. But Max is looking amazing. Max is looking really, really good. We're about to start. A lot of shots. A lot of volume by Max. And the body shots get to you, man. We're off, people. We're off. Max looking very, very good landing that jab. 1-2 by Max. Then the right hand to the body by Max. Then the right hand to the top. Max is doing such a fantastic job. Right hand again to the body. Kattar looking for that check hook. Nothing doing again. Max looking for the oblique kick. Looks for it twice in a row. Kattar with the right hand of the body of his own, but it's not landing. He's pulling up short. Max doing a fantastic job of sliding out of the way. Then goes looking for the left body rip and the right hand over the top. Kattar is super tough. Max is landing 1-2s after 1-2s. He's doing a fantastic job now. He's able to pick out what he wants. Oh, another calf kick landed by Kattar. That left rip to the body hurt Kattar. The amount of damage that he sustained to the body is 1-2 landed again by Max. Left hand landed by Kattar, but he hasn't got the pop in the punches anymore. Max is starting to really, really hurt him. And slide out of the way of the punches is Max. He's landing, sliding out of the way, and coming back with the counters of his own. Left hand landed by Kattar. A lot of strikes landed by Max. More than double the amount of strikes, almost 3 times the amount of strikes is what Max has landed on Kattar to the head. Kattar's now shelling up. There's 3 minutes to go. I don't think he's going to get out of this round. Max is landing combination after combination. He's trapping him up against the cage. He's landing shots. He's landing elbows, big right elbows to the top. Kattar with a left elbow of his own and a right hand, but he's in a lot of trouble, is Kattar. Max is landing shot after shot here. Kattar's covering up. Max is landing elbows after elbow. Kattar's lands a left hand of his own. How is Kattar still standing? He's not. He's very wobbly. Herb Dean's going to step in. He's very, very wobbly now. Kattar can't stand up. He's not. He's very wobbly. Lands a left elbow of his own. Max is just using him as a punching bag right now. He's just landing shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. There's 2 minutes to go. Kattar has a huge heart, man. He's fighting so hard, just looking for that left elbow counter. But Max has hurt him so badly. Even if he gets out of this round, I think Max is taking the shots flush. He's taking all of Kattar's shots as well. So when Kattar's swinging back, Max sometimes isn't even getting out of the way. He's just taking the shot. Now Max has held Kattar up against the cage. Kattar is turned now. Max has got him and he's going to circle back in. Does a great job, Max, of just pinning you to that fence, holding you against that fence. And another right elbow landed by Max. More body rips. Another elbow landed by Max. And knees in the clinch. Kattar's throwing combinations too, trying to survive. Is Kattar 1 minute and 38 seconds to go? He's in a lot of trouble, is Kattar. He's taking a huge beating. It's just his toughness keeping him up. Another 1-2 landed and a big elbow landed by Max. Max is now going for the double leg on Kattar. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Another left hand landed by Max. One, two landed by Max. Another right hand landed by Max. 1 minute to go. I cannot believe that Kattar's still in this fight. Right hand landed by Kattar. Jab landed by Kattar. Jab doubles up on the jab and lands a right hand as Kattar. Oblique kick by Max. They trade a jab for a right hand. Kattar's landed some. Jab landed by Max. 44 seconds to go. Will we see a fifth? Jab landed by Kattar. Jab landed by Max. Spinning back kick by Max. Max is looking very relaxed. Everything that Kattar's doing is looking very labored. Oblique kick by Max. Oh, right head kick landed by Max. Oblique kick by Max. Up high Max with a jumping kick. 12 seconds to go. How is Kattar surviving this? I do not know. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, guys. We're about to start again. We're off. 4:53 to go. Max is landing the combinations. Again, right hand by Kattar. 1-1-2 landed by Max. Jab by Max again. Kattar's still very much in this fight in the 5th round. Well, he's not very... Look, he is very much in the fight because he's still there and he's doing such a fantastic job. Swing and a miss by Kattar with the right hand. Attempts on a calf kick, missed again. One, 1-2 landed by Max. Oblique kick landed by Max. Another jab landed by Max. Ripped to the body by Max. $3:45 to go. Can't believe Kattar's still in there. 1-1-2 by Max. More combinations landing by Max. Right to the body by Max. Right to the head by Max. Another right landed right on the kind of chin and nose of Kattar, and Kattar just taking the damage. How tough is Kattar? I cannot believe how tough this guy is. And he's still in there. Another oblique kick by Max. Kattar is now in the southpaw stance. Another shot landed. Another rip to the body. Right hand over the top by Max. Then a jab by Max. 1, 2, 3 landed by Kattar. They exchange jabs. Another calf kick landed by Kattar. Another oblique kick by Max. Max again looking for the oblique kick. Oh, the spinning back kick by Max. Again to the body. Man, Kattar is so tough. So tough. Right kick to the head by Max. Kattar's taking everything. There's 2 minutes to go. Max doing a fantastic job. Max looks absolutely amazing in this fight. Another oblique kick by Max. Doubles up on the jab, then a right hand by Max. Rips to the body, does Max. Calling Kattar on. Talking to Kattar. Again, ripping the body, then again with the oblique kick. Again, Max looking fantastic. Doubles up on the jab, hits the body. He's really, really hurting Kattar to the body. He's talking his Max. He got his head snapped back by a jab. He's calling on Kattar. He's talking to people in the crowd. He's taking the shots. He's moving. Kattar's yelling at him. He's yelling at people. Max is yelling at Kattar. There's 1 minute and 24 seconds to go. He's talking and he's yelling and he's coming after Kattar. Kattar's looking for shots as well. Swings and a miss with the right hand. Does Kattar. Max is taking some shots too. His face is pretty banged up. And Max is still talking to someone on the sideline. I can't tell who he's talking to. He's yelling at everyone. He's yelling at Kattar now. And he's throwing the combinations. $30 to go. He's taking a lot of shots. Has Kattar. But Max is taking some shots too. Max is taking some shots, man. He is taking some shots, I'm telling you. It's 15 seconds to go. A lot of shots as Max. 7 seconds to go. Time. It was all Max. That was all Max. Okay, so now we got Brian and Alex, and the winner of that will be a rematch, I imagine, with Max. What do you guys think? I can't see anyone else unless somebody does something amazing. I don't know. Max Holloway is yelling, I think, at John Anik, is it? Or DC or someone. He's yelling at everyone. He's angry at someone for some reason, I think. Yeah, he's that was I cannot believe that Kattar took that amount of damage. He is so good. Max is good, and Kattar just took so much damage. I can't believe the amount of damage that Kattar took. The amount of shots, the amount of body shots. That's the thing people don't get. The amount of body shots and how he just kept coming. I don't know, man. I haven't seen something like that for a long time. Tell me what you guys think of the fight. Or do you think it should have been stopped? Do you think the corner should have stopped the fight? I'm just asking. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just asking if that's what you think. Um, that was very impressive. And so now we got, who do you guys think? Ortega versus Volkanovski. Um, and then obviously, does Max get the winner of that fight? You know, so will we see Ortega 2 or Volkanovski 3? Oh, is that he's yelling at the judge who scored the fight for Volkanovski? Okay, fair enough. um, that was crazy, man. That was really, really, really crazy. Well, the thing is, if Max gets a trilogy fight, right? Because Alex got to fight Ortega, and that's not a foregone conclusion. You know, Ortega is who he is. But let's say Max wins, then it's 2-1 Alex. Does Alex get a rematch? And then they're going to fight like 4 or 5 times each, like for 4 or 5 times. Just those two. That's an interesting one. Yeah, I mean Ortega's for real. You know what I mean? Like, there's no joke. I don't think this is a walk in the park for Alex. Thank you so much, Roy C. That was, yeah, it was a hard one to watch, man. I can't, honestly. I feel for his corner. I think that would have been so hard for his corner to watch that. You know, it's easy for us to say, oh, just throwing the towel, da, 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 but as it's happening and as it's happening live, it's hard. It's it's really, really difficult as a corner. Like, you feel for your fighter and you do, but man, he took a beating in that fight. He's such a good fighter. Kattar, I'm talking about. He's a good fighter himself, and he showed his durability and his heart. Wow. Man, I'd like to see that. But at featherweight, I want to see it. I want to see it at lightweight. I think Connor's a little bit too big at lightweight. Max Holloway's pumped. He's pumped. He did, man. He really did look amazing in that round. He looked really, really, really good. I was super impressed with him. I'm super impressed with Keita. I'm super impressed with how tough he was. The fact that he was still there, So yeah, yeah, I think so too. It'll be Max versus Volko forever. It'll just be them two. Um, do you ask the fighter in between rounds if they should throw in the towel? Is that a no no? I have thankfully never been in that position to have to ask that. I think once you're asking that, I think you should probably be throwing that towel in. If you're going to be asking that, um, telling the fighter that you might throw the towel in is different. But if you're asking him, should I? Then it's you know that's kind of like me asking a girl out and then saying to my wife, "Hey, it's okay." She said no. It's okay. I didn't cheat on you because she said no. Like, no, if you're asking the fighter, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, it's over. Ah, Valeria, thank you so much. She is a little beauty. She looks like a mum. Thank God for her. You know how hard it is to look like a guy and have my head? Imagine being a little girl and looking like me. So she's lucky she looks like mom, like her mum, She's very, very lucky. Thank you, Valeria, for supporting the channel so much, man. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Makes it all worthwhile. Thank you when you guys support the channel. It really, really helps. Thank you very much. Um, it's not just save their face, dude. It's save their brain, dude, because they're not wired like that way. They're gonna go out on the shield. They're gonna die on the shield. As you saw Keita. He's just gonna keep fighting. All those guys are gonna keep fighting, and so yeah, it's a tough one. I'm not criticizing his corner either. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing his corner because I don't know. They know their fighter as well. They're there as well. But from the outside, you look, oh shit. What do you do? That was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive, man. I I don't. Yeah, at featherweight, Connor and Max. Man, like today, I'd probably back Max. But at lightweight, I think Max is not the same. He's not the same at lightweight. Um, yeah, I think that they're gonna they're gonna like yeah, unless Volkanovski beats him a third time, then it'll probably be that that's it. But if Max beats him, then they're gonna fight for sure. They're gonna fight a fourth. I think Volkanovski could and would probably go up a weight. I think he probably will at some point. Like, I mean, he started fighting at 185. Um, I yeah, I think where he's going to be the most dominant is at featherweight. I think at lightweight, again, he doesn't have the same my opinion, he doesn't have necessarily the same advantages that he has at featherweight. And he starts to lose some of the advantages that he has already, like his strength and whatnot. The lightweights, like you look at Chandler, for example, Mike Chandler, he's kind of like Volkanovski, but bigger, if you know. What about Holloway versus a bit? Yeah, for sure. For sure. That'd be an amazing fight. But I don't think Holloway wants that right now. I think he'd want a shot at the title as soon as possible. I think he must have broken a few records and bones as well. Um, I agree though as well that I think Max will drowns a bit as well. I do think that as well. Um, I think I think Max versus the winner of Ortega versus Alex and yeah, versus Alex and Ortega. So I think Max versus the winner. I think I don't see why Max would take another fight versus the bit or somebody else. That's just me. Not after that performance. After that performance, he deserves give him the fight. You know what I mean? If whoever wins, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was insane, dude. That was crazy. The amount of shots he landed. But something that I can't believe is how tough Kattar was. Because seeing him take the body shots, man, that was just gnarly. He took so many shots to the body, dude. You don't recover from that. You don't just shake it off and go, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. No, body shots destroy you. That was a cool card. I liked it a lot. I liked it. That was a cool card. Um, I agree with you. I don't think Zabit would survive the championship rounds versus Max, and I think Max is very very smart in that like I think he just came on right at the start, pop, 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 um, hitting Keita and putting the pace on him from the get go, and that was very hard because the way that these guys would have fought is Keita taking the first and the second, and he'd said no, he took all the rounds, so that was very very hard for Keita to come back from, and so that was pretty interesting. So now we'll see what happens. Let's see, guys. Please write your comments down. Thank you so much for watching with me. Really, really appreciate it. Um, please watch. Sorry. Please like and subscribe. So I'm looking for this thing as well. Just remember, go to Manscaped. Use my code word FAB to get 20% off plus free shipping for any of the products, any of the manscaping products. Follow me on Instagram. It's my name, Fabricio with there. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry, I'm a little bit off today. I know I'm a little bit off. Just early morning. This Thursday for the Chiesa fight versus Magni. I'm going to be doing it as well. It's going to be even earlier for me. So please join me for that. That was awesome. And of course, for the McGregor versus Poirier fight, please join us for that. Like and subscribe. Go back, watch the old videos as well. Please share with your friends. And guys, one more time, thank you. Just reading the penguin guy. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very, 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 very much. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.